votes are cast, legends forged in echoes past, steel and spell the fates entwine, bound by oath and arcane sign. Roll the dice, the stars ignite, heroes rise to claim the night. Blade and fire, storm and steel, stand together, fate is real. Through the dark, the path unknown, whispers call from ancient stone. Trials test the strong and wise. Will you fall or will you rise? Battle cries, the clash of war. Thunder cracks, one row, one more. Destiny calls, hear the sound. Stand your ground, don't back down. Roll the dice, the stars ignite. Heroes rise to claim the night. Victory or death untold. Dare you chase the tales of old. The adventure begins. The adventure begins.
Hey everybody, how we doing?
Welcome. Hello, hello. Good evening, all, or morning, wherever you are. Welcome. This is session 3 of
It is.
Hollow Tree, or
Flying
the
by.
Secrets of Hollow Tree. It is flying by. It was intended to be a one-shot, and here we are in session 3. Not even
Yep.
halfway through. So, welcome all on a Sunday evening. Just a couple of quick announcements before we get going. So, a couple of games coming up on the Nerdz in the next week or so. We have Lantern Song, which is hosted by Jins, on 14th, which is a Saturday. So tune in, good fun. We're at a critical point where things are kind of getting interesting, I guess.
It's starting to get interesting, yeah. There's going to be some big fights coming up. There's going to be some real fuckery as well. So, yeah, it's going to be really good fun.
And also, by the one and only Jins, is The Hunger on this Tuesday the 17th.
Yes,
So
The Hunger, we've
that
just had a
is
very pivotal point, lost one of our main characters, so we are in the aftermath of that and seeing where the characters are and how they're dealing with the loss of
what
Corbin.
they're doing and where they're going. Good story if you haven't caught up already. It's all on YouTube, so you can watch it from the beginning, but it's good fun. And then you have a new to DMing, but not new to us. But Roxy is on a second session now of DMing Tombs of Annihilation on Monday the 16th. But she's really rocking that, so that is quite interesting and fun as well. So that's the games coming up. I think there's one more you might notice in the top right, but go for it, Jins.
So we have been working behind the scenes. Myself, Timber, and Swift, and Roxy have been working to come up with a sort of get a sponsor for the channel, and we've got approached the people at Bardic Tools, and they have agreed to go into partnership with us for their soundboard software. It's a very brilliant piece of software. It basically works all in the background. seamlessly, sliders. The UI is unbelievably easy to use. If I can do it, anybody can do it. And I've just wrote this little ditty here, which I'm going to do. Okay, it's going to be a bit daft. Are your taverns too quiet? Are your dragons too polite? Is the tension of your dark ritual undercut by the sound of a party rogue eating crisps? Fear not, brave GMs and chaos-loving players. Bardic Tours is here to turn your tales from meh to epic cinema masterpiece. All without needing a degree in audio engineering or a bard with Spotify Premium. With hundreds of pre-made soundscapes, seamless crossfading, and the ability to upload your own horrible goblin screeches, Bardic Tours is basically the soundboard of your dreams or nightmares. We don't judge. Because they're amazing, and you're amazing, we have got a couple of discount codes, which we'll be giving out on our break. So if you hang around, you'll see the discount codes. If you apply for monthly, you get 2 months free, and if you apply yearly, you get 20% off. So when you go to bardic.tools and you type in the coupon code, and it will come up. So that'll be coming up on our break. You'll be able to see all the details there. Other than that, there's an automatic message that comes over in the chat as well. So yes, we're very excited.
In fact, I think we're trialing it tonight.
We're trialing it. This is what we're listening to right now.
Yeah, exactly. So it's quite interesting. So keep an ear out.
Yeah.
So very good news, very exciting news. So let's see how it goes. But it could be a birth of the beautiful thing. Okay, I think that's all the announcements and things done. So I will shimmy across and we will do a bit of a recap of session 2 and find out where you are and what's happened. So, okay, after the group spent their first evening in the Gilded Stag and reflecting on Willow's ledger, they decided to explore the town. But before they could leave the tavern, Edric slipped them a simple note saying, "Seek the key, seek Durgrim." Not knowing who Durgrim is, the party decided to question Willow and found out he dwells in the Warden's Keep. Whilst making their way around town, the party couldn't help but notice that they're being kept a close eye on by a couple of mysterious hooded figures. Once at the Warden's Keep, Captain Dane Harrow grants them an audience with Durgrim, and the group quickly realises that he seems slightly unhinged. Whilst Withers has an interesting conversation with Durgrim, eventually gathering intel on the ruined chapel, Francis and Wynid notice a strange familiar dwarf in the opposite cell. Making their way to the ruined chapel, and after a brief investigation, they are quickly surrounded by shadow wraiths that lurk within, and the first battle for survival ensues. During this intense encounter, wraiths' chains are flung, coins are tossed, arrows loosed, flame blades are swung, and lichen are born. They make their way back to the market square after a fierce battle, and they lick their wounds. And they found the emerald key, an emerald elven-like key, the forged key. And after making their way back to the market square, they quickly realise that after trying his hardest to be discreet, and with a quick glance back at the group, Edric is escorted off by the veiled blades, his wrists in shackles. So, that's your recap. That's where we are. We are currently in the market square, and Edric is being escorted off in shackles by the veiled blades, a couple of veiled blades. It's about 6 o'clock in the evening, so sun just sort of coming to a lower point in the sky. It's a clearish day, and you have opposite side of the market square where they are walking off towards Lord Altharion's manor. The market square is yours, so to speak.
Question, DM. So the veiled blades, they're escorting him not to a dungeon or to a holding cell, but physically to the Lord's manor.
You can only assume. They are going in that general direction. The Warden's Keep is in that general direction, but so is the manor. It's set on top of the hill, to the north of the town.
Hey guys, I think that was that Edric guy from the Gilded Stag. I think it was. Should we go help him? You know, or are we just gonna? Do we care? I don't know if we do.
I think at the very least we need to ascertain why it is that he's been taken away, and then I'll turn to Winnie and say, I have a very bad feeling we may have had some hand in this.
You always seem to do, at least. It's the least we could do.
Are they travelling at pace, DM, or are they just? Is he just being meekly escorted, or?
A brisk walk, and there's 2 in front, 2 behind, 4 veiled blades, and they're in their usual attire of the black sort of robed, leather-clad type clothing.
Are these the same cloaks that we saw watching us?
No.
The guys, okay.
You would know with general perception that these aren't the same guys that are watching you.
Okay, there's a couple of guys when they were watching us in the market space.
Have we met the
They
Veiled
were
Blade?
actually. You have met the Veiled Blades. So 2 things very quickly. The 2 mysterious hooded figures. You've caught 2 or 3 sights of them. One where you went to question Willow to find out where Durgrim was, and they were across the market square. And they weren't being super discreet. They didn't really mind too much that anyone was there noticing them, or any of you were noticing, but they kept an eye, and when you went to sort of go to follow them, in fact they sort of disappeared out. And the second time was when you left the town to go to the ruined chapel in your cloud of smoke. They sort of, you caught a brief glance of them as you disappeared out. The Veiled Blades you have met, they were with Lord Altharion. The leader, Falril Voss, was, I don't know if you remember, he was in the Gilded Stag when you first met Lord Altharion. He's the sort of general of the Veiled Blades, if you like. But the Veiled Blades were in fact the ones that broke you out at the very beginning of the prison wagon. So you've met them a couple of times.
It's Altharion that's hired us, isn't he? It's also.
Yeah. So the Veiled Blades are in fact Lord Altharion's kind of mercenaries. They are hired by him and do his work.
Us being hired by him is hired is a very loose word.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
We've got a persuasive bard with us.
How far are they away from us?
They're across the market square, so I would say probably about 50 odd meters now up the road. So they're walking away from you. They've come out the Gilded Stag and they've gone north. They're probably about 50 meters.
Hey guys, should we try and help him? What do you think?
Yes.
Withers is going to walk over and he's going to sort of pacedly walk without them seeing him, and then he's going to sort of slow down, grab hold of his stick, and he's going to sort of bump into them. He's going to go, "Oh my god! Oh, I'm an old man. I'm so sorry. I the age is getting to me, and I just can't see where I'm going so much, And he's sort of touching him on the face, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, my eyes,
So, excuse me, sir. We have a business to attend to. If you wouldn't mind stepping aside." And they tried to push you a little bit.
Help me, young man! I can't. I'm just losing I got my breath, and he's sort of.
I look at Edric and sort of give him a little.
Edric, are you trying to be discreet? Or you?
To Edric, I am, just to give him a little bit of a. We're here for you.
Okay.
Like a little bit of a.
Can you roll me a stealth check? Just to see if the Veiled Blade guys, or specifically the one you bumped into.
18.
Oh, okay, perfect. So the Veiled Blades, with the bump, he doesn't really notice, and he's sort of not. He's trying to pay you attention, but trying to shove you off a little bit.
Withers has got his hand on his shoulder, and he's just like, when I was a young man, and he's with his right hand on his shoulder, and his left hand, he's like got his hand in his coat, and he's looking for keys.
Oh,
or
okay.
Something that I presume Edric is tied up or trained up or something along those lines.
He's got his hands behind his back in shackles, metal shackles, the same shackles that you were essentially in the wagon.
So I'm in there. I'm in there giving it. Trying to.
So you're in the veiled blades, one of the veiled blades pockets,
just giving him
if
a
you
little.
like.
Just give him a reach around.
Okay. If you roll a sleight of hand,
Sleight of hand.
just while you're doing that, what are the rest of you doing?
I'm flanking. I would be following Withers to try and see if I could cut them off to actually talk to another one of them at the same time that Withers is doing this. So I'll wait for Withers to complete his business,
Okay.
and then I'd like to target a second one.
Was it 15?
Dennis?
I don't think it come up.
Not yet. I'm gonna roll a.
It was definitely.
Dennis, what were you doing? You were going to say something before this. Are you following? Are you holding back?
I think I'll hold back.
You hold back in the market square, yeah? Let the guys carry on. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you bear with me, Veil Blades. Let's have a look. +4. Okay. Okay. So what did you roll?
15.
Sorry. 15. Okay. So you don't. He got a 13. On his perception. So you don't. He doesn't notice you in his pockets, essentially feeling him up. However, you don't find any keys on this. So you're now on the back right hand side. You do find 2 gold coins though.
Oh, happy days.
Yeah, and a set of playing cards if you haven't already got them. He's a bit of a gambler, this one. So he doesn't notice you do that. Danis is in the market. Erdan, are you sort of following?
I want to make like a middle ground in between Danis and everyone else. I just want to try and just stand there, look menacing.
Okay, fine. So Erdan, you're sort of maybe 10 feet behind Francis and Withers. And Winid, you...
I'm gonna go run to the second guy, and I'm gonna start like tugging on his cloak, obviously. Since the height.
So whilst the back right, if you like, is sort of fending off an old man, Francis and Winid are on the other left-hand, back left, and as you're tugging on, and he's obviously quite a lot taller than you, as a sort of a fairly tall 6-foot human, if you like. Can I help you?
What are you doing harassing this old man?
Well, I think he's harassing us. If we're just escorting a gentleman off, if you'd like to step aside, and we'll be on our way. Unless I can help you with anything particular, but
You can't
Maybe
pull
you
the
want to
wool over
speak.
my eyes. I saw you bump into his cane.
He hurt me so much, and help, please! I'm being abused by the guards. I'm an old man. I'm a good citizen. You know, I've been good. I pay my taxes.
Withers, roll me a deception. Winid, are you trying to?
I'm trying to give him
intimidate him, or are you
advantage, try and
trying
help him, just try and distract the guy.
Okay. So whilst he's distracted.
Oh my god, I got a natural 1.
Oh my god!
Advantage, remember?
So everyone,
Come on, please.
no, you're on the other side. So he's. There's a few people mulling around as well. So whilst he's doing this, it's quite a dramatic. Bit like a football player's gone over, dived over a tackle. Everyone's like, phew. So they're sort of like, oh my god. No one's sort of minding. No one's coming to help a poor old man that's just been pushed to the side by a veil blade. You would know that the veil blades, through your short time in Holidry, are quite menacing for the people. Anyway, they're not the nice police, if you like, of a town. They are quite nobody messes with them, kind of thing. So people aren't going to want to go up and try and help if they can really help it. Okay. So as they walk off, obviously, Winner, do you sort of get pushed to the side? Francis, are you doing anything? You've got about...
I'm waiting to
go on.
trying to capitalise on the catching them on the back foot by these 2 strange folks that are accosting them on the one side. I would like to see if I can stop them and say, what time of day is it?
It's about 6 in the evening, so after your escapades with the ruined temple and the shadow race and things, you've come back, and it's about 6 o'clock.
Right. Good evening, gentlemen. By the authority of Lord Altharion, I would like to inquire as to why this individual is being carted away in chains.
Well, by the authority of a higher paid member of Lord Altharion's personal guard, we do not have to tell you why this man has been carted on chains, but what you can do is if you see Lord Altharion, you can take it up with him himself. But if you don't mind, I must get on my way.
I appreciate you are very busy, but I would just like to inquire, sir. We are hired on behalf of Lord Altharion to investigate a certain matter. I'm sure you may be aware. This gentleman is the next person we were coming to speak to. Are we permitted to do so? If you could tell us where we can find him.
Well, if you want to find him, he'll be with Lord Altharion himself in the next few hours. If you've got anything last words to say to him, you can say it now in front of us.
Didn't work.
Withers is on the floor, and he is going to. You hear him say,
By the mother of fire, I embrace thee.
and he fires out. One of the stools just catches on a fire next to them. So, and I cast bonfire, and one of these stools just bursts into flame. I done that stealthily, so if you.
And how stealthily did you do it? If you wouldn't mind to roll with, because obviously it's some verbal, I guess.
It's verbal and semantic.
So whilst
I was 20 and it flipped onto 5.
so they look back at you. So while you're doing that, sorry, Erdan, you were gonna do something then as well. Whilst were you gonna say something when Francis was? You wanted to, or not?
I was gonna, but that sort of went out the window.
Okay, no problem. It kind of moves pretty quick. As this little stool catches alight, one of the guy you were actually feeling around his pockets turns round, looks at you, muttering something, doesn't quite catch you because I rolled pretty low on the perception. Doesn't quite catch what you hear, and then jumps back as this stool catches alight. One of them goes across and grabs a blanket and is about to throw the blanket over. He pulls it like a bit of laundry off of the line out the front of one of the houses and about to throw it onto the fire. 3 sort of take a wide berth around 3 of the other Veil Blades take a wide berth around it and walk off. Danis, sorry, while this is happening, are you doing anything else? Are you holding ground in the market square for now?
Can I use dancing lights to blind, cast dancing lights right in front of their face to sort of blind them?
You can. I don't know if dancing lights would. They would probably more distract than blind. But yes, you can. How far do you have to be? Because they're sort of. They've been walking
120 feet.
What's that in meters? That's probably about right. So yeah, as you cast dancing lights, they're sort of almost like fairy things come in. So this stool's now on fire. This these dancing lights are in front of the 2 in front of them, and they're sort of trying to brush them aside as they're scurrying up this path. The 2, whilst all this is going on, you haven't really succeeded too well in not distracting, but freeing, shall we say, Edric. So the 2 actually grasp tighter and sort of haul him up, whilst the other one puts the fire out and sort of joins the back. So they're now in a sort of a diamond shape with Edric in the middle, and they're scurrying off a bit more hurriedly left an old man on the floor with a burning stool and the rest. So they sort of brush him off. They don't stop or search. They just sort of brush through the dancing lights, if you like.
Hey, just one last thing. I just want one last thing to say. Can you let me have one last thing?
And the back one turns round as he's walking.
And I cast
sort of
command.
stares. Oh, okay.
And I can say a single word: release.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Let's check what his. Is there any? What's the actual
You
spell?
speak one
Because-
word. You speak one word command to a creature that you can see within range. The target must succeed on a Wisdom saving throw, or follow the
Wisdom saving
command.
throw.
So it'll be a 13.
Okay.
You've got to beat.
Okay, where's his wisdom saving?
Is he gonna know? Is he gonna know
you-
that he's been?
So there's two
I
things
think
that can
if you
happen. Where's his wisdom saving throws?
I think we're going to be throwing
Oh my
down on
God.
this market in a minute.
Oh, I think so. I'm starting to
I
get.
think he does actually.
So he got a 15.
Okay.
Sorry. So he
Withers goes,
When you-
release! Like nothing happens. He's like, damn it. This happens sometimes.
as you shout release at him, as he's walking down, you just notice the side of his crotch sort of get wet, where he's just released a bit of his bladder, and he's sort of patting his inner thigh as he's scurrying off. So it was a good attempt, but unfortunately, they rolled pretty well. To be fair, they've carted him off, and they've gone up and beyond.
Ooh,
and
before they go.
Oh yeah, go on.
I'm going to look. So Withers is going to look round at Francis and Winid and the other guys, just suggestively, like, are we?
Is that it? Are we done?
Unless you mean committing arson and making a man piss himself counts as done, I say we've done a very good job.
I'd say our coordinated effort has achieved very little.
Okay, and he just stands. Oh, he's like gets himself to. Fucking, I'm too old for this shit.
So you're about 20 meters past the Gilded Stag to the north now, where you've been sort of following these guys. Danis, you were obviously the furthest back, sort of towards the market square. Can you just roll me a perception? A general perception check.
Yeah, perception, yeah. Okay, nice. 17.
Okay. So as you've thrown the dancing lights in an attempt
Oh,
to
shit,
sort of
that's
distract.
performance. That's my bad.
Oh yeah. No, go on, roll your perception.
Yeah, that's not me.
No,
Oh,
no, it's okay.
shit. We roll the same thing, so it's a 14 this time.
Okay. You. Oh, is it gone? Are you refreshing? 14. No, fine. So, as you've thrown the dancing lights, and the rest of the team are sort of in the street now, having a chat. You think as you sort of spin round, you look over your shoulder, you look towards Willow's Wares, and around the sort of general marketplace. Obviously, you know there's a lot of people that have seen this ruckus and a bit of a kerfuffle. And you just you think you may catch sight of a couple of the figures, but you're not sure if it was or not, and you can't make out through the crowd and the people watching. But yeah. So yes, you're left in the middle of the street to watch Edric get hauled away.
Yeah, yeah. When they come back, they just see me rubbing my temples, like, not again. Like, come on. They back.
So
You know,
it's about yeah. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, Secret Admirer's back.
So yeah, it's about go on. You're gonna. It's about 6:10 now, and you spent sort of the last sort of 5-10 minutes just trying to release Edric. It's getting on a little bit. Obviously, you still sort of limping a bit and licking wounds from the previous Shadow Wraith encounter. But yes, it's setting into evening. What would you like to do?
I'm spent, guys. I got nothing left. You know, I need to wash. I need to brush my teeth. I need to sleep.
Do you even have any teeth?
I got this one back here, and he just pulls his mouth out. I got this one. I got these two. I got one at a time.
No dentures yet. Still the same teeth.
No dentures.
Got the wee clips.
How about we let's go get a drink at the Gilded Stag, and let's sort of gather ourselves. What do you say?
Could do with 4
As soon as Wither said that, can I just start walking toward the Golden Stag? Not even a word said.
Yep. So
I'll follow.
Dennis catches you guys up, rubbing his temples a little bit, and the rest of you sort of pick yourselves up, and you sort of take one last look up the street, and quite far up the street now, you just see them turn the corner and disappear.
What's happening with the fire?
Oh, there was a cloth or a thing chucked over it. Yeah, they've sort of thrown it out in an attempt to stumble. There's a smouldering blanket over the stool that was set alight.
As Withers just starts to walk up the seat, he just waves his hand in a motion. You just see like a glow come across the scar that he's got on his hand, and earth just sort of piles up on top of the smouldering blanket that's on the floor. And I just
nice.
Earth.
So
I really do pity if there was actually a person manning that stall.
Luckily,
why is it on fire? I'm being buried alive.
I'm sure they would have had a different reaction. It would have been a bit of a terrible massacre of Hollow Tree if that would happen. No, luckily, so as you do that, obviously you see the earth come up and over around the stool, and there's sort of a bit of a steam sort of like hissing sound, and it's sort of quenched fully. And yeah, as you guys head, you're not far. You're sort of, like I said, 20 meters or so away, and you head back down the street and into the Gilded Stag. And as you walk in, there's a few patrons sat around. Like I said, it's maybe sort of 5 or 6 people dotted around. You don't recognise any of them at the moment. What you do recognise is there's a different face behind the bar.
Yeah, who's manning the bar? Yeah.
Exactly. So, so obviously Edric has been relieved of duties. Yes, as you walk in, there is no person there that was originally there to greet you. It's just the bar with about 6 people. There's a guy sat at the bar, and he looks like he's just done a hard day's graft. He's got soot all up his hands, and he's got a bit of a soot down his face, and he's just got a large tankard on the bar.
Withers is going to sort of walking very slowly. He's keeping up the facade of I'm an old man after the theatrics in the street, and he's just gonna. I'm gonna go sit down over here, and he's looking out for sort of a spider web or a spider anywhere. And he's sort of sitting down in the corner, and he's just sort of looking around his chair.
Okay. Looking out for a spider. It's quite a. It's not a dive. It's quite a well-to-do-ish kind of tavern. So, but there is going to be cobwebs and things around. Are you sat at the bar? Or are you sat in a table?
Just sat at a table
in the corner. Okay, so you've
next to the fire.
Have all of you going to sit down?
I'll sit down next to Withers.
Yep.
I think I'm gonna go up on stage.
Straight up on stage, you?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you fly past the bar and you head towards where you know the stages from previous, Withers, if you give me, as you're sat in the corner, just give me an investigation or perception, your choice.
17.
Oh, okay. So yes, you short glance around. You can look up as you're sat in the very corner. You look directly above you. And just off the beam, you see this little scurry behind, and there's sort of just a cobweb with a a very smallish spider. It's not one of your big Black Widow things. It's just a sort of probably the size of a D20.
Withers is going to go
Standard-
up and just cradle
standard
it,
D20.
and he's going to he just whispers something at it and then just puts it in his component pouch.
Okay, try not to squash it. But yeah, so as you put it in, you sort of people are looking up. It's a bit of a reach above you. You're not the tallest, but obviously you can just grab this little tiny sort of spider about the size of a 50p or cent or whatever it is. Dennis, as you make your way down to the stage, there's probably, like I said, probably 6 people and another guy sat at the bar. Over to you. What do you want to do?
All right. Same thing as last time. Dancing lights.
No, nice.
Kind of put the spotlight on myself.
Yep. So you got your lute. Is it a lute you had, or is it a?
It's a trumpet.
A trumpet. That was it. So as the lights start flickering around you, sort of a few people look up as you start sort of trying to tune in your little trumpet. I don't know how a trumpet tunes. I've never played one. But yeah, as you we'll find out. Oh, you have played one. You did pretty well last time, didn't you? You had the whole crowd going. So as you start tuning in, a few people sort of look up and can sort of take note and sort of carry on chatting. If you roll me a performance.
Nice, 18.
Oh, okay. So as you tune it with ease, people are looking up, they're thinking, well, he's pretty seems to know what he's doing over here. And as you start tuning, you're sort of given a few almost little solos as you tune up, and then as you start going, you breaks out into a bit more of a dance, and people start tapping their feet. They're getting into this. And yeah, you've got a few people's heads turned, and 5 or 6 people, and as a couple more walk on off the street and up to the bar, and as they walk in, they sort of look down to the stage, down to their left, and start sort of leant on the bar and looking now. They've been nodding their head. What are the rest of you doing?
Withers in the corner.
Dennis is.
Hey!
Being sat next to Withers, can I just be shooting him a really weird look at the fact he's put a spider in his bag?
Yeah. Yes. Are you trying to make him notice? Are you doing it?
I'm not like trying to make him notice. I'm just there in absolute shock horror at this strange action.
Dan's arachnophobic.
You were a spider, weren't you?
Yeah, in the first episode.
You turned in.
Hey, what? What's the problem, kid?
You're just weird, man. Very, very weird old man.
I've been on this planet 87 years. I've got socks that are older than you. This weird shit that's gotta happen. You gotta do it. The spells. If you really want to know, he sort of looks to the side. I need that spider for a little bit of a spell I gotta do. So it's a component I need.
Okay then. Okay. Then I want to just get up and walk away.
Bye bye.
See if I can catch Erdan as he's stepping up. With a small pouch of coins, call it 5 gold coins. I'll just see if I can lean back and just place it in for him to catch with his hand, and just say, see if you can find some information out from. And I'll gesture towards this new guy behind the bar. See if you can find out. Get us all a drink, and see if you can find out what happened to. Oh my god, I'm having a mental blockage.
Edric.
Edric. See if you can find out what happened to Edric, and I'll put 5 gold coins in a small pouch into his hand.
So I grab the 5 coins. I go straight up to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Pour the 5 coins out into my hand. Straight up offer it to the new bartender. Tell me what happened with Edric, if you can.
Oh, and what you see before you is quite a chiseled-looking guy, almost as chiseled as Edric was. He looks very similar to Edric, and he's got sort of jet black hair, sort of slicked right, bit of a quiff back. And he's got a bit of a leather jacket with some what do you call it? Like cuffs with sort of embroidered a little bit. He's got a black shirt on underneath, and he just sort of gives you a smirk. Young man, what can I do for you then? Whilst
What do you know
it's
about
very
Edric?
very cold. It's a very like he's looking down at you a little bit.
Very stoic.
You're very stoic, and whilst you notice Edric was very warm and welcoming, and he'd as I don't know if you remember, but he would have come over to your tables and sort of tried to wait on you and maybe take care of his patrons a little bit better, whereas this guy has not left the bar. He's just serving a drink every now and again, cleaning glasses.
Because I'm up at the bar, can I see like anything below it or some stuff I wouldn't be able to see sat down? Is there anything?
You can try if you roll me a perception.
Okay.
Got to remember now.
19.
No, that's okay. So you noticed the door behind that was there before. I think when Withers changed into Altharion, obviously he noticed a what's it called? A door that looked like it went to a storeroom or something at the back. That's kicked open a little bit. You don't hear with a 19 or 18. What was that?
How open is that door?
It's about 6 inches ajar, so you can see sort of some crates behind, and it's a bit dusty and gloomy. You don't notice anything behind the bar or anything of note. It's pretty much as Edric left it, as you would have known it. But yeah, that's it really. Nothing untoward. Though.
And the bartender didn't say anything about Edric.
No, he has. No, not yet. He's just looked down at you, and with a very stoic-y kind of smirky grin on his face, he looks down and says, young man, what can I do for you?"
I sort of slide the 5 gold coins across the bar and say, "What do you know about Edric?"
If you roll me a persuasion.
Persuasion? Yep.
Yeah.
3.
He sort of laughs. He just takes a chuckle. What do I know about Edric? Well, Edric was a fine gentleman, and he was a loyal man. Maybe too loyal, but yes, he's had his unfortunate absence of leave, shall we say. And he sort of takes the gold coins, looks at them, looks at you, and are these for a drink, or are these for? They sort of like look at you. Are you trying to bribe me?
You see, is the bribe working?
Oh, you have a lot to learn, young man. Unfortunately, there's I've had too many attempted bribes in my time, but yes, it seems like if you want to find more out, then you'll have to seek Lord Altharion. I'm sure you know where he is by now. If you wait long enough, he may find you.
Can I puff myself up, rub my hands together with a bit of electricity crackling at them, and say, "Are you sure that's all you know?"
So if you roll me an intimidation, he's got a pretty good
8.
Okay. He sort of as he gets out, he sort of looks at you as you do it, and he does a little smirk, and as he turns to one side, you notice. You just catch a very quick glimpse in his inside pocket. What look to be sort of bladed knuckle dusters is the only thing I can see. Whether he's trying to let you see them or not, you don't know, but you catch a glimpse, and he sort of looks at you and smiles and sort of says, "Listen here, kid. I've been intimidated before, and by creatures and men twice your size. Unfortunately, it seems like you have a lot to learn, and yes, I can get you a drink if you still want that drink."
And I just sort of snatch the 5 coins back, sulk back over to Francis, and drop them in his hand.
Just looking
He
at
sort
you.
of looks
I
over
drop in
as
his
you
hand,
walk off.
I-
Yeah.
Try and subtly gesture the notion of a weapon in his pocket, the bartender's.
To Francis, yeah.
Yeah, Francis.
Yeah.
So he'll just hold him, but just look at you. Oh, look. It was worth a try, kid. It was worth a try. How old is Erden? Does he look quite young, or is he?
I'm pretty sure I have myself. Sorry, I'm gonna have to check this now.
So whilst
Don't
you're
want
doing
to
that, sorry,
call him kid.
Danis is really getting into this jive down the bottom as this is all
23.
happening. Oh, he is quite young, yeah, fair play. And Danis is getting into it. You've got a couple that have stood up now, and they're sort of doing a little like jive around, and a couple more of sort of tapping their feet, nodding their head. They've left their conversation to one side, and they're getting into what you're playing, Danis. So sterling effort. What's Winid doing at this point? You sat with Withers and Francis?
I've seen Francis obviously hand this coin to Erden, and then him obviously come back and just drop it off. I'm really like, Francis, no drinks.
I'm considering going up and asking myself, and I'll see if I can get us some ales while I'm doing it. But I'm just glancing over at the guy behind the bar. I'm trying to ascertain if this is your standard bartender, or if this is somebody in the employ of our Lord Altharian.
Can I look over, and is the bartender actually looking at us?
He's keeps looking, because obviously he's seen where Erdan's walked to. I would say he probably didn't see you drop any coins back in Francis' hand. He sees Erdan looking a bit sheepish, and Withers in the corner. He's taken some note, but he's not overly concerned yet. So he's not. He's not. He's glancing over every now and again.
I'll head towards the bar.
Can I follow Francis up to the bar and just stand behind him, very, very like?
I'll just place back. I'll say, just give me a minute with this guy, kid. Give me a minute, and I'll just tap him onto the chest to kind of reassure him. So don't worry about it. Don't worry.
Defeated.
Poor old Erdan. So you're going up to this bartender, yeah?
Yeah, I'll have the 5 coins and fingers.
Yep. Fine, sir. What can I get you tonight?
Start with a drink. What was the name, friend?
Garon. You can call me Garon.
Garon.
And a drink, you say? I have to remember what these guys have to drink. So, we have the Eldra's Embrace, and we have the Blackwood Brandy, or we have your standard ale.
Let's go for.
You remember the brandies and the Eldra's Embrace, the wine that you had before. Obviously, that was quite appetizing. But you've got your bog standard sort of ale as well, which is what a lot of the workers. There's a guy next to you. Sorry, Erdan, I probably should have said as well. But there is a guy next to you that's sort of minding his own business. He did sort of look up and chuckle when he sort of heard what was going on with you and Garon. And he sort of like minding his own business. He's noticed you come up, Francis, and you look down at him, sort of just nod back as if to say, but he's covered in soot. He's got big hands, and very callous looking, chiseled guy.
He from the mic.
So what did he look up? What was it that made him look up and focus on us? Was it just there
The guy sat at the bar, or the guy?
Yeah.
No, he didn't look up at you guys. Sat down. He's looked up at Erdan when you approached the bar, and now he's just looked up at you, Francis, as you've approached the bar.
Okay.
He sort of just gives you a courtesy nod and goes back to his ale. And Garon sort of turns around. Oh, sir, we have the ale, and we have wine, and we have brandy. Wine can be quite expensive. Brandy's even more expensive, but your ale's pretty bog standard.
I'll just glance back at the my compatriots and say, we're still on the job for Lord Altharion, and I'll look to see if I can pick up any kind of reaction when I mention that we're working for Lord Altharion, if at all possible.
Yes, you do notice he just raises an eyebrow and half a smirk, as if he recognizes and has already been told that there is 5 fine gentlemen on his books for a little bit. Lord Altharion, is it? You must be the 5 he was talking about. Yes, I mean, I can get you drinks, and the tab still is there should you wish to use it. Obviously, the rooms are still available also. So the bar is at your disposal.
Let's have
But he's
5
saying
ale.
this with a very smirk, still sort of almost looking down at you. He's probably the same. He's a 5'8" sort of guy, normal height. But he's still talking down to you in a certain tone.
Yeah, this smirk is starting to grate on me a little bit. To be
Yeah,
honest.
you can see it's rubbing up people the wrong way. Even this chap sat at the bar, covered in black soot, is sort of does his head in a little bit. You can see sort of like, 5 ales, you say?
Yeah, we'll go for 5 ales. Yeah, please.
No problem. So he turns around and he grabs 5 tankards off, pours them, and he's looking over and he's looking down. He sort of looks back at Erdan, sat with Withers over the side, and has a little smirk. And
It's
then
when you see
pours
that
the 5 ales.
Withers is asleep.
Oh, while he's pouring, I'll turn to the chapter and say, has he worked here long?
Who's that, mate?
Sir,
This fella?
yeah, you seen him here before?
Oh, I hadn't seen him before. First night, mate. First night he's been here.
Okay.
I don't
How
know
many-
who he is.
How many people are in the tavern right now?
So Danis is actually pumping out a mint dance tune at the other end of the tavern, and even though Withers is asleep, it's got everybody else kind of up and a little bit jovial and dancing around. He's doing a fantastic job. This is such a good little sound with
It's
it.
the best.
So there's probably 4 or 5 people down near the stage with Danis now. There's probably 4 or 5 people up dancing, and there's one stood at the bar with you, or sat at the bar stool, and then there's 2 people sort of conversing behind you, a few tables away, not minding their own business.
How big is this guy?
Guy covered in soot, or the guy behind the
The guy
Garon?
serving the drinks.
The guy serving the drink. So he's sort of medium build. He's
Bigger than me? Or
no. He's quite he's 5'8", quite broadish shoulders. Looks like he could work out, but not any type of sort of muscle mania kind of Hulk guy. He's your standard
Right.
bar staff kind of guy, if you like.
okay. Erdan was heading back towards the table, I assume. Withers has gone to sleep, is that right? Did I hear that
We
right?
was asleep in the corner. Yeah.
Asleep.
Alice is playing music. What's
Yeah.
Winid? So I'm going to turn and look at Winid. What are you doing, Winid?
Just staring at you, just like he can't lean back on his chair because he's so small, but he's literally like leaning around, looking at you.
This smiling guy's.
Can you
giving
just
me
roll me a I'm gonna roll as well. Roll me a perception, Francis. A minute.
Okay, I've got advantage
Okay.
on those.
Why
I'm
not?
going to roll twice, and so I got a 19 on the first one, I got a 19.
Okay, no, that's
The dicing
Super.
isn't working properly, guys. So I'm having problems.
just playing whilst Withers is asleep. It's playing. So 19. What you do as you're sort of asking this guy sat at the bar, and Garon spun round and put 5 drinks on the bar. The door that was behind him kind of moves a little bit, and it's almost like it could be mistaken for a breeze. But you sort of hear it, even with the noise from Danis, you kind of hear this creaky kind of thing, and then you think you hear almost like something else shut. So you can hear some activity, like a wooden something shut. And you hear, with a 19, I'm going to give this to you as well, but you hear a couple of voices, like mumble. You don't hear what they're saying, but you hear 2 voices from the back room mumble. 2 male voices.
Okay,
So,
I'm going to turn. Go on. Yeah.
No, go on. You've got about 3 seconds to do something before Garon does it.
I'm going to. Where is Garon in proximity to me?
He stood right in front of you, looking. He's got his 2 hands on the bar, and as he's done that, he's poured himself one of the expensive brandies, and he's put it to the side.
Oh yeah, go for it. I'm going to turn. Is Garon? Winner's looking at me, and I'm going to give you that wink. All right.
Are you doing it discreetly? Because
No, I'm turning.
Garon
back.
is literally right in front of you.
I'm going to have the coins in my hand. How much was the drink? The ale? Oh,
It's all
yeah,
on the house at the moment. Because you got the Altharion tab.
I'm going to have the coin. I'm going to have a coin in my hand that I'm going to go look like I'm going to pass to Garon. I want to put as if I got his hand. I want his hand there.
Yep. So he's going to reach out and.
Okay, I'm going to put the coin in his hand as I'm turning around to Winid, and I want to give Winid the wink.
Yeah.
And as I turn around, I want to grab his hand, pull him forward, and I want to headbutt him across the bar.
Jesus. Okay.
Upon seeing that look, I was just gonna say, you're just gonna see just a slight kobold grin, and then it's just gonna drop and just go.
Were the ales ever poured?
Say again. Sorry.
Were the
They're on the
ales
bar.
ever poured?
Yeah. So what you've done? Ales were poured, and there's 5 in front of Garon, in between Garon and Francis.
Can I get up, grab one of the ales, walk over to the sleeping Withers, and sort of waft it under him like smelling salts to wake him up?
It's at this point that when Francis actually grabbed him and headbutt him, Withers isn't asleep. He's there, and he's actually there, and there's a ball of fire in his hand, and he's just sat there like.
I don't know how quickly in proximity it's all going to kick off, but I want to.
And he's got his hood up, and he's just there. Like,
okay. So this has happened in a split second. So you're grabbing Garon's hand and pulling him towards you and headbutting him.
I'd like to headbutt him and drag him over the bar.
Okay. So let's do a strength off a little bit to see who drags who over where, and if you can manage. So give me a strength check, and I'll see if I can. I did not plan for you to start a scrap with this guy.
I know.
I'm going to give him... Okay, so he's got this. What's his strength saving? I'll give you a strength check versus his strength saving. Or dex saving. Let's get
22.
Oh, shit. Okay, no, he got on that one. So you drag him over the bar, and you headbutt him in this... mint little drop. You drag him over the bar. These tankards go splaying everywhere across the bar, and you headbutt him square in the forehead, if you like. Crack his nose a bit. The guy next to you gets up and sort of stumbles back off his stool and is like, "Whoa, oh my god!" So whilst that's happening, I'm just trying to think, what would Danis, you probably seen this, even though you're still in your full zone of playing trumpet. Withers, what are you doing as this is dragged over?
Withers just rolled his eyes, looks at Winid. He's got his fireball just burning in his hand. He's like, yeah. He doesn't start to get up, so he's just walking towards the bar.
Okay.
Is
anyone doing anything else before Garon gets up from a bleeding nose?
Can I get the electricity crackling at my hands again, trying to prove a stubborn point?
Yes.
I'd like to try
So
and keep him down there if I can.
You've got a Withers with a sort of fire flicking in his hand, Erdan with a bit of electricity sort of glancing around, and Wynid sort of rolling his eyes ready to...
How far is this guy from... How far is Francis and this guy from me?
I mean, it's probably 15 meters, I suppose. I'm trying to do it in feet. I don't know what that is in feet. 20 feet.
Okey-doke.
Before he gets up, if he's dragged over the bar, he's on the floor, he's got a bit of a bleeding nose, and Withers just sort of comes up to the bar, and Francis is sort of holding him there.
Okay.
And Withers is just going to go,
Look here, fella. It appears that you're fucked with the wrong people. We're asking some questions and we need some answers. I suggest you give them to us, otherwise my irritable furry friend here,
and he points at Francis,
might just scratch you up a little bit, you know?
I'll start.
So- Oh god, okay. So you start in, so if you roll intimidation with advantage,
okay.
and with that, because you've got obviously Francis sort of still holding his hand, I guess? Still holding his wrist?
Yeah, I'd like to keep him on the ground if I can.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to try a strength saving, but it's with a 20, he's not going to do that.
Nat 20.
And okay, so as you're saying that over him, Francis has got his hand. Erdan sort of stood in the background with crackling electricity almost. With that, you notice behind Francis, as you look back across the bar and the door that was moving slightly, you just notice two black hooded figures with the door open. They heard the scream of Garon. They've opened the door, and there's two hooded figures walk through the door, and you notice them as two veiled blades that have come out of the room behind. And then as Garon looks up, he sort of, with this intimidation check, he sort of gestures to the veiled blades, step down, stand down. Oh God! And he's sort of looking up at you, holding his nose. Oh, okay. Well, it's been a while since I've been in a scrap, and he sort of like tries to crick his neck a little bit. But you can tell he's sort of, what's the word? Subsiding or giving up a little bit, if you like, giving up the facade. Okay. And he sort of looks at you as if to say, can I stand, Francis? Are you going to let my hand go, or are you going to? He sort of tries to pull it away.
So, as he's saying, a small while since I've got a scrap, so the eyes are going a little bit yellow, and obviously the square's going a little bit black. I say,
So that's why I say a lot of intimidation going on here. So he's
smile at me like that again, it'll be the last scrap you're ever in. And I'll pull him up. I'll literally pull him to his feet.
As you yank him, he sort of stumbles back and he puts two elbows back on the bar. Oh, and he's rubbing his nose and he sort of wipes it, and the blood from his nose from the headbutt. Well, and by this time the guy that was sat at the bar has sort of scurried off towards one of the tables at the back, and he sort of grabbed his beer. He's seen a few bar fights, so he's left you to it. Well, and he coughs. Well, yeah, certainly a bit more of a shock than the brandy. So, what would you like to know?
What have they done with the other barman?
The other barman. He's gone a little bit more into his shell, but you can still tell he's a bit of a cocky dickhead. But he's not towards you anymore. He's just generally his persona. Edric. Well, Edric. He, like I was saying to your friend, he's a loyal fellow and too loyal. He's found himself in a spot of bother, and even though he looks around as he's saying this, and there's not too many, with Danis still going ham on the trumpet, people are not really sort of paying too much attention. They've concentrated on Danis. He's found himself in a spot of bother, and even though he's on the Lord Altharion's books, he's got other motives, shall we say. And he's a good guy. He's a good guy, and almost too good. I think he's trying to help people for the right reasons, and maybe Lord Arthurion is wary of him, so he doesn't want any more secrets to get out, shall we say. So, yeah, I mean, it's best if he's not conversing with the general public whilst doing so. So he's been taken to Lord Arthurion's manor, where he'll be questioned about what his intentions are, certainly towards you, fine gentlemen. And he sort of looks around and looks back at you and takes a sort of oh my god, back where your eyes have sort of just now going back into their normal form, and he takes a little bit interest in sort of, oh my god. Edric,
Two cloaked figures reacting as he's saying all this.
the veiled blades behind.
Yep.
They're sort of just stood there, arms folded, just keeping an eye on if anything kicks off again.
See, we're all friends again. See, he gives me a whack on the back of Gora, and he's like, "I'm gonna go sit down. Where's my beer?"
It's all over the bar. As you whack him, he sort of like
he picks
sort
up
of whacks him on the back.
He picks up the beer of the guy that was sat next to the bar and just walks up.
So Withers goes back, takes one of the beers back, and he said, "Well," he looks at the mess. He goes, "I've got a bit of clearing up to do, but I don't know much more than that. So apologies, I can't help you."
Can I do an insight check to see if he's telling the truth or if
Yeah, I was gonna say, roll me some insight or something. Hopefully, I don't know if you got it working.
I got an 8.
Okay.
No.
So you with a Nate is not crazy. It's not terrible, but he's not trying to hide too much in terms of what he did, weren't you? What his agenda is. You can tell with the insight that he's also part of the Veiled Blades. He's on Lord Arthurion's books, if you like. Sorry, I'll flick back 2 seconds. But yes, so he seems like a cold, kind of calculating guy, but he's as I said, quite stoic. Even though he's had this intimidation stuff done, he's not looking down at you guys anymore, down his nose at you guys. But you know he's.
And how's the nose actually? Because I headbutted him on the nose.
He's still sort of holding his nose and sort of rubbing it. But yeah, you can tell he's for the most part telling the truth. He's probably not telling you everything, but he's telling the truth on what he has said so far.
Okay, I'll release my grasp of his collar where I was holding him and just kind of slap on the arm.
So yeah, and he sort of just slaps you on the shoulder. I suppose I bet you get you 5 more drinks. Ales or something stronger? And he sort of
We'll go ales.
nods of appreciation. So he walks back through and he just gives the 2 Veiled Blades at the door a nod, and they close the door fully, retreating back to the storage sort of area, or what you think might be the storage area at the back. Pours 5 beers and takes a huge gulp of his brandy, pours himself another one, and puts the 5 beers on the tavern.
How dark is the storage room?
When you did catch a glimpse, it's not too dark. It's it's not lit because you rolled quite a high perception. Someone did. Was it you, Francis? You 19 or whatever. But yeah, with the perceptions you were doing, it's not lit by natural light. So you knew it was sort of a fire or a lantern of some kind. It wasn't. It was gloomy, but not terribly dark, but nowhere near as bright as the tavern, obviously. Yeah, you could probably tell it's not a huge room. There's probably some sort of kitchen type area back there. But yes, it's obviously the Veiled Blades aren't cooks.
I'm going to go back to episode 1 here, and I'm going to walk over to the bathroom and once again cast Find Familiar in the form of a spider.
Oh, okay. So, and I assume so the rest of you are at the back of the table. Dennis,
Yeah,
are
I've
you
collected
still
5 ale.
going ham on the trumpet?
Did you tell anyone you may turn into a spider?
Absolutely.
Did you tell anyone you were going to form a spider?
No, I just upped and went.
You went for it.
Okay.
Sorry, so you come out of the toilet as a spider. Just remind me, sorry, does anything happen to your normal form? Or do
No,
you
I
completely
stay
turn into a
completely
spider?
fine. I just get the familiar and I have.
Oh, okay, so you're stood in
all
the
over it.
stall of the toilet, essentially,
And-
in your normal form.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
a minute later, I come back out, like clasping this spider in my hand, and I walk past the bar.
Yeah.
I walk past the bar, and I kind of subtly put it onto the floor, and I sit back
Okay.
down next to Withers, and I say, "Don't put this one in your bag."
So
I know what you're
with the
doing, mate.
bar at the
It's
bar
all
at
right.
waist level, you would have dropped that fairly easily. I don't think Garon would have seen it. Sorry, Dennis, were you still going on the trumpet?
Absolutely.
You're still going on. Just give me another performance check just to see how we're getting on, whether you're tiring or whether you're keeping up the.
It's going to town.
Please don't tell me now. Yeah, 21.
So you're actually getting more and more of a crowd. So there's sort of 6 or 7 people. They're getting right into it, and you notice one of the female patrons is the clapping and the crowd are getting going. You notice one of the female patrons taking a bit of a shining, and she's more swaying, almost lost a little bit in your melodic tunes of the trumpet. But the rest are fully dancing and jiving away to their heart's content. Erdan, you join the rest of the other 3 at the table.
Yeah,
And your
and
spider
I'm
is
gonna
now stood at
Send
the
my
bottom of the
spider
floor.
into the storage room.
Okay. So I'm just gonna roll he's got to be pretty bloody high for this guy for perception. Okay. So as the spider, as you steer the spider, if you like, round to the other side of the bar where Garon is swigging his brandy after and padding his nose. He's sort of looking down to catch the blood from his nose, and he notices the spider. He assumes it's a normal spider. He sort of lifts up his foot, and he sort of brushes it to the side, and it doesn't hurt it, doesn't crush it. It just sort of pushes it towards the back wall almost, and you carry on to the door. You manage to. I'm assuming it's a fairly small, like you can get under the crack of a door. It's not
Yeah,
going to be
just like
too.
a house spider.
So as you go under the door, if you give me a general perception check, I will let you know what you see. It's not got to be
Yep.
terribly high because obviously you're.
Perception. That is a 14.
No, that's good enough. So as you go through, you notice the storeroom, and it's quite dusty, if you like. If you bear with me 2 seconds, I will. Just gonna load. So as you walk around, you notice storeroom. You notice some crates. You notice a table and a big keg of where the ale was, huge kegs. And you notice some crates of fish, carrots, and sort of general food items, if you like, more of a storage. And then as you go through and to your left, you just see another door, which is slightly ajar, and you hear the 2 male low hum voices in the next room along from the storeroom.
Okay, can I scurry into this other room?
Of course. So as you scurry around, you sort of sleek through the door, and are you trying to stay discreet as the spider, or the familiar is
Yeah.
staying discreet?
About as
So
hidden
just
as
roll
the
me.
spider trying to hide.
Yeah, I mean it's quite small, so they're not going to notice it. But just give me a general stealth as you're doing this, as you're walking through.
Okay.
And you scurry round, and what
19
you do?
on the stealth.
Bloody hell, yeah. So you hear the 2 voices as you enter the room, and you see in fact, two veil blades, and they're leaning up, and it is a full kitchen. And it's got a big stove at the back. You notice a chef that's scurrying away there, but the two veil blades are leant up against the center kind of island, if you like. There's a wooden sort of table in the middle, like an island, and they're sort of chewing on some meat, and they're discussing general topics. One of them's asking sort of, you know, how did he get on with the blacksmith, and one of them are asking about how long do you reckon Edric's going to be detained, if you like, and do you think he'll make it, and all this sort of stuff. Meanwhile, the chef's sort of working away. If you just give me one last perception, again, not particularly high because it's not trying to.
8.
Yeah. Okay. So you notice that under or near the back of the room, there is somewhat of a. You don't know what it is for, but you just notice a kind of trap door, if you like, in the bottom of the floor. It's looked recently used. It could be a cellar for the wine. It could be anything. So.
Is there any sort of sound coming from it? Anything worth noting about this trapdoor?
Not with an 8. No. There's no sound coming from it. There's just a wooden trapdoor in the back room. The two veil blades are still nattering. They haven't noticed a small spider. It's very hard to notice a small spider anyway.
I'm gonna ignore the spider now. I'm gonna turn to Withers because I'm sat next to him. And I'm gonna mention trapdoor deep in the back room. Think it's worth investigating.
Noted.
Okay. So with leaving the familiar there?
Sorry, with your familiar, just so I understand, you can control it, see through its eyes, and you can still talk, or do you have to get it back to you? And like, how does it work?
Sort like two Xbox, two controllers basically. Got to drop one to play with the other.
Alright, so you can you can manually switch between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. Okay, it's probably, I don't know, it's probably for the wine, or keep the meat down there, but it's in the kitchen. I need to go to bed, guys. I'm hanging out my ass.
So I was going to say it's getting on a bit. It's probably getting on for sort of 9 p.m. ish. Danis is finishing up, and the crowds are sort of dying down. The guy sort of returns to the bar, the guy that was covered in soot, and he's picking up one of his drinks. Evening is setting in. There's a few patrons coming and going. Nothing of note that you see. Danis joins you back at the table after a fine performance of the trumpet, and ending on a high. And with us, you heading up to bed.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, these old bones, they ain't what they used to be. I'll get my beauty sleep. I need as much as I can get.
So with us, you head upstairs. You go to the same room as you were in. It's like I said, standard room. It's exactly the same room you were in the night before. No change. And you're straight up in there.
As he goes to bed, as he goes to bed, he just checks the window and he just picks like a dead fly off the window and just puts it into his component pouch.
Collecting like these insects. I love it. Yep. Plenty of flies. Plenty of dead flies. What are the rest of you doing?
I too am going to go up to my room and, just like the night before, pray to my patron, see if I can get something back from him.
Yeah. So Erdan with us head up. The rest of you heading up?
I'll do the same once I've downed my drink. Yeah, just have a bit of a scan of the area and then head up when it's ready.
So
As walking away, and just as Francis and I were still here, I'm going to put in my backpack some sausages, eggs, bacon, the maple syrup, 2 sets of cutlery and 2 plates. That I remember literally scooping up into my backpack from the previous session.
The morning, wasn't it? The morning you came down and you scooped up the Withers' breakfast stuff.
Yep.
So
I'm going to put that out on the table. And I'm just gonna drink from the thing. I'm like, Francis, breakfast for dinner.
I'll join you for that. I think it's been a long day. Some food and some rest seems most appropriate. Either way, win it.
I'm sorry, Withers. I can't have you eating all of this.
You would have scoffed a lot. So as you sit there, you obviously lay the table. Garon sort of looks over, a bit bemused that you've just pulled all this out of your bag, thinking, Jesus, where's get all this from? And you lay the table, and yeah, you feast away. Danis, are you joining them, I guess, or have you already gone up?
No, I am not. I have not gone up yet. I've actually went over to the bar to get myself a drink.
Okay.
Yeah,
Garon?
I walk over to the bar with a pouch of 5 gold. It's on the table. Okay.
Well, looking
go on. I just go up and ask. I saw what those guys did to you back there. Kind of a dick move.
Oh, sorry. What with your friend? You mean pulling me over the bar?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in a few scuffles, so I guess it comes in part and parcel of running a tavern. I suppose you're gonna get these drunkards, and he sort of looks a bit worried, like it's not just your normal drunkard. It was almost a Lycan-esque drunkard that was pulled him over the bar. But yeah,
no, he's not normal.
Scuffles.
Yeah, no, he's not normal at all.
No, definitely not. Not one of your normal patrons. But is it a friend of yours?
Acquaintance.
Acquaintance. Oh, so are you loyal to these others?
We are bonded by money.
Bonded by money. Money bonds a lot. It can be a big instigator and a big motivator, should I say. But yes, I mean, money is a useful tool. Not your only tool, but a useful tool. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, as he's shown you, his useful tool is a little bit more than money.
A little bit more than money. There's other useful tools.
Yeah.
Can I get you a drink, or are you joining your friends for this feast? Would you a brandy, a wine, or an ale?
I think I'll just have a brandy.
Oh, brandy. Okay, good choice. And he sort of pours you a glass and hands it to you, and pours himself one. Turns around and stood at the end of the bar. So,
yeah. I think I'll just stick around the bar.
You sit at the bar as well?
Yeah.
So, as Winid and Francis are chowing down, you've devoured a lot, and as you're discussing the previous events and things of the last day or so, you work your way through this fine feast that you've managed to lay out a spread on the table, Winid. But yeah, the evening is yours if you so wish to explain anything, or you finishing your food and heading up.
No, I think I'm just keeping just a wary eye on the proceedings, those coming and going, and just chatting down on what Winid has pulled out of his bag. This is only since this morning, isn't it? This is not like mangy food from days ago, is it?
This is only from this morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
it's obviously gonna be cold. I thought there was like a wee jar thing or something. I just put maple syrup down. I mean, it's probably. Where was the maple syrup? Or was there waffles on that table or something? Actually, because
I think Withers ordered almost everything he could get his hands on. That was a huge spread of pastries and syrups and berries and meats and cheeses.
I just wrote down what I kind of heard, and then when I said I scooped, I'm like, okay, now I gotta remember this.
I can't even remember what it was.
And I'm like, I've got sausages, eggs, bacon, maple syrup. Oh, I've got waffle.
There you
As
go.
Francis is kind of like
Yeah,
chewing on
those
a kind of a old bit of bacon, he'll just kind of have a bit of a chuckle to himself and say, remember that last bar fight we got into? Yeah.
Don't remind me.
Well, this one went better than that one did.
You managed to get your sword stuck in a wall when I literally made it impossible to do that.
Well, it took me a little while to work out how to call it back. So you throw it, it gets stuck, and then I just had to improvise. But we got through it. But, yeah, I didn't like the guy's smile. I thought maybe we'd learn a little bit more, but we'll have to see what the morning brings.
Are we ever going to go to a bar that you don't like the guy's smile of?
We'll have to see. Like I said, it went better than I thought it was going to go. But
And me.
It could have been a lot worse. At least those guys in the back didn't start anything.
yeah, I don't think I've made any friends there, though. I'm not sure on this. These. I don't know. Something about this. I still can't shake the feeling that we're working for the wrong side. But
Is there ever really a right side?
there's a right side. There is a right side and a wrong side. And frog marching somebody off in chains like that just didn't ring right with me. So, well,
You know my or you know where I come from, so I'm still getting used to things here.
yeah, we'll speak to the others in the morning, see if we can't come up with a better plan, and see if we can get some answers. We've got too many questions, not enough answers. So. Anyway, you did well with this food. It's not the worst thing we've eaten.
That is a fact. And he'll just like bite into the waffle and then just like push it away. That's him.
Have we got separate rooms? Are we all
You've
being
all got your
provided?
own room. Yeah, no, you've all got your own room. There would be the same rooms as you would have had the previous night. A maid has been in, made the beds and emptied the piss pots. Probably held her nose emptying Withers a little bit. Being more pissed than everyone else is. But you know, your beds are made, your pots are empty, and your sheets are turned up. Yeah. So same rooms.
Is it just like is the room just filled with this really acidic smell?
Francis will just give it a little tap on the table, and as he's about to go up to bed, and just say, "Just keep one eye on the door tonight. Maybe lock it." And with that, he'll head up to bed.
Okay. And following suit, Winid, or
Yep, following suit.
okay, Danis. Anything last you want to do before the evenings come to a close?
Yes. I just wanted to negotiate a little bit for playing in the tavern.
Yeah,
Earn a little bit of
negotiate
money.
with Garon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Since he's the man of the bar at this point.
Mhm.
Alright, so as you've seen, I've been bringing in a few more patrons with me than without, so can I get some of the cut?
Some of the cut of the bar.
No, just a little bit more money. Like, I don't know, like, I'd say, 10 gold a night. I'm here.
You want 10 gold a night for playing at the on the stage? Yeah, is that?
Yes,
Oh,
I would.
well, this is certainly if you roll me a persuasion, as you do that, he sort of looks and says, well, certainly brings in the patrons, shall I say, but yes, I mean, you can I give you 10 gold every time you perform. It might not be every night, but with a 24 he's pretty impressed. I mean, yeah, it brings in the patrons, it causes distractions when needed, and you're pretty good to boot, so yeah, I don't see why not. And he sort of looks back, rifles down, and he gives you 10 gold, and he sort of, as he slides it across, he just sort of stops and sort of says, "I want any funny business though, but only when you perform well. If you bring in the patrons, you might get another 10 gold, but yeah, keep that to yourself."
Yep, I'll keep the attention up front, and keep them coming in.
Well, that's very, very kind of you. But I'm new to this bar work, so but yeah, thank you all the same.
Yeah.
Is there anything else I can do for you, or you heading?
I mean, you won't happen to know anything about the strangers following, like a couple of cloaked figures.
Cloaked figures?
I
You mean?
They're not the veiled blades, but
Oh, not the Veil Blades. I mean, the only other semi-cloaked figures that I would know about would be the Emerald Sentinels, but they wouldn't be being discreet. But yeah, I mean, other than that, no, I don't know of any other figures.
thank you.
Oh, no problem.
And I finished my drink, head on up to bed.
Enjoy your evening. Thanks again for the performance. It was right up my street. And as you go up, you head to the same room. Nothing untoward there. No funny business in the room. Standard room. So as you all settle in for the night, you pull the duvets over. You get a really good rest. Been a pretty exhausting day for your first full day in Hollow Tree. And you can all take your long rest.
Woo-woo.
And you get a really, really comfy night's sleep, and you all awake in the morning after your long rest.
DM.
And yeah,
Could Withers have got up a bit earlier, say 5 a.m. and is sort of
yeah.
That's why he went to bed early, and he's sort of just went outside and sort of a bit of lay of the land, sort of looking around town, just wants to know
Okay.
where things are.
Yeah. So you're walking out the front of the stag, the Gilded Stag, and it's a semi-familiar street that you see yourself in. You see a couple of people milling about. It's early doors, so it's 5 a.m. You see some early risers scurrying about, getting ready for opening up shop. And you look up to the left, and you see, obviously, Lord Altharion's manor at the top, just tipping the sun from behind, just as it's starting to rise very early. You look down to the right, and you can see the market square that you recognise, and over the back and through the houses, because you're on almost the Gilded Stag is kind of on a hill. So at the top of the hill is the manor. As it slopes down, it goes to the market square, and then beyond. So you can just see across the top of the houses, and you can just see what you know is you don't recognise it, but you know is the spire of the Verdant Temple of Verdant Light. You know from your talking to everybody else that's where Princess Lyria resides with the Emerald Sentinels. Willow's Wares is in the market square. If you give me a perception as well,
Yeah.
Almost sort of up to the left, sort of towards the manor, but not quite in that general direction. That's where the Warden's Keep was, or is, where you met Durgrim. But yeah, as you look around, you see people sort of milling about. You probably see the guy with a 10 heading off down, sort of not towards the temple, but beyond, to the right again, sort of south. You see the guy that was drinking at the table with the sooted hands dart across the market square, off to his usual business, some 30 feet away, 40 feet away, whatever it was. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. He just
people
wanders
are
around town, just has a little look around, then goes back into the town.
Okay, and as you sit there, you sit back down at the table, and Garon sort of gives you a look and a nod, and as the rest of you are coming down,
How's the nose?
No.
Got a little crooked.
he sort of does a little like smile and like, yeah, it will be now. Yeah.
Live and learn, my
breakfast?
friend. Live and learn. No, I'm good. I'm okay. Thank you very much. Just waiting for my companions.
Okay. Not one for breakfast. Me neither. And drink?
No.
No.
Not today, thank you, sir.
Okay. Well, have a good day.
Have a good day.
And he's just Withers is going to stand by the door, just sort of waiting for the guys.
Okay. Anybody doing anything particular with their morning, or are you gathering downstairs as per?
Gathering to speak to the guys about where we want to go next.
Yeah? Okay. Yep. So as you all come downstairs, you see Withers propped up against the side, sort of arms crossed and fiddling with his pouches and things. And yeah, you all meet downstairs and the morning is yours.
How are we doing?
No, Francis. Francis, how did you sleep?
You know, I slept in worse places. I've slept in better. But you know, it's all good. You know, I think I was quite busy thinking about this job we got. You know, just trying to work out where we're gonna go. I've done a bit of recon this morning. Just trying to figure out what to do next. You know, we gotta get that gem, that artifact, and we know where it is, kinda. But we've also got Edric. You know, I felt kind of bad that we kind of put him in that situation. You know, so I see we got two ways of doing this. We can go get Edric, try and persuade to get him out, break him out, or we go have a little look-see up at the church. You know.
About these Emerald Sentinels, we've not really spoken to them. I'm correct in saying we've not spoken to them yet.
No, you haven't met them yet.
You
haven't seen any around town. They keep themselves to the temple, pretty much. What you know at the moment.
Withers, what if we put a name to a face, or a you know, what if we at least make some kind of contact with these Emerald Sentinels? Just try and see if we can work them out.
I don't think they're gonna let us in. Sounds like that place is locked up tighter than, well, you know, Davy Locker's chest.
Oh. Maybe. Well, perhaps maybe we do a little bit of snooping around. At least get a look at the place.
We might be able to break in, you know.
Looks super safe, sort of goes into Francis.
I got a few tricks up my sleeve you hadn't noticed. I mean, you know, I got a few spouts, so, you know, I might be able to get in.
Withers, in the short time I've known you, I've seen nothing but tricks up your sleeve, so I've no doubt.
You should have seen me in my prime.
Is Winid come down yet?
Yeah. Well, I'm assuming you all came down at sort of similar intervals, one after another.
Well, seeing Erden there, I'll say we've got certain abilities with the reconnaissance of that spider that you can bring out. I know Winid here has a few tricks up his sleeve, so yeah, between us, let's go check it out. Let's go and have a look at this temple.
We got this key as well, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry. Who is carrying the key? Who ended up with the key? Was it
Withers,
Danny?
Danis opened the lock, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I opened it.
Knock on it, didn't you?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Sorry, Karen.
So we look at the temple.
So you reckon we go up to the temple, have a little look, see if we have recon, see if we can... I'm quite interested about these guys keep stalking us, I've spotted them twice, and I kind of want to fuck them up a little bit for some information.
Exactly, yes. Thank you. Well, I'm not the only one.
Like if we see them following us today, I think we should work
Yeah,
to do just.
I'm willing to give them a little this and a little that, oh yeah, well, 1, 2, they don't call me Wilfred Dragonsbane for nothing.
Okay.
All right.
So you're heading out and down towards the temple?
Correct. Yes.
Is that the general consensus? Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
And so as you depart the Gilded Stag for your second full morning and in the Hollow Tree, you head out the Gilded Stag and you turn right towards the market square. As you come down the hill towards the market square, you see the sun's a bit further up now, and you can see the spire, and you head towards that. As you are getting closer, you walk past the market square.
While we're in the market, is there any sort of herbalists in there?
There is a couple of market stalls that are manned. One's manned by a little halfling woman, who's quite old, but she's selling general herbs and spices, if you like. You obviously have got Willow's Wares that is more of a general store, but for your more how would you put it? More alchemical stuff. So if you want something for potion making or for something like that, then that's Willow's Wares. But you can see this little halfling lady, quite an old lady.
Seeing we're there, I'm gonna just wander over there.
Good morning, my dear. I'm after some sumac leaf. Wondered if I was one of the herbs you might have.
And as you come up, she's obviously she's a little halfling, and you can tell from behind she's quite an old halfling and sort of a little bit hunched over. And as you come up and announce yourself, hello, my dear.
Hi, how are you doing?
She's almost older than Withers, which is saying something. And she sort of looks up at you. She's got thick glasses on, and she's sort of squinting. Oh. You look a fine fellow. How may I help you? Good morning.
Oh, well, thank you. And he's still playing with his beard. Well, yes, thank you very much, madam. I done my stretches this morning. I've been a walk, but my feet are so sore. This weather. It just makes my ankles hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a bit cold, isn't it? But you get used to it. You can still stretch.
Well,
she's like, quite impressed.
These ankles can still do a little ditty, if I need to. I've just noticed around you got a couple of herbs and some dried was that basil over there?
Yes, we got your general herbs and spices for cooking and whatnot.
You are.
Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
I'm after some sumac.
Sumac? Oh, that's a little bit. And she sort of scurries round the back of her stall, and she sort of scuffle around and let's do that one. Oh God, what is that? Yep. And she comes out from underneath kind of a stall. She's pulled some crates and bits and bobs out, and she's sumac, and she sort of holds out her palm, and you see these dried sumac leaves, and you get 3 sumac.
How much is that? How much I owe you, my love?
Oh, I haven't sold this in a while. Maybe 2 gold, because they're quite rare, and I can't get out to forage for these anymore. I have to
2
rely on
gold?
people bringing them. 2 gold,
Whoa.
yeah.
I just used to pick this stuff
She has a
myself.
little chuckle, like she's trying to fleece you.
You show my love, you know, you're looking very gorgeous today. I just, you know, that gown suits you.
Oh,
The way it frays at the bottom and it just wears on the cobbles, you know, it really suits you. And those thick rimmed glasses, I could almost get lost inside those lenses, you know.
Oh, this old thing, this tatty old robe, and
So how about you give me a nice little price and as soon work leaves, and once I finish my job here, I take you out to dinner.
Oh wow, wow. If you roll me a persuasion, she's getting a bit flustered, like she hasn't been chatted up for years, like years and years.
Ooh, 6.
Well, you are a fine gentleman and a man of your stature. I mean, I've got to make a living myself, but maybe a little bit of a discount. Maybe 1 gold and 5 silver.
So
Here you go. He slides the money over.
Oh, thank you.
you have the
Anything else?
You have the most pleasantest of days, my beautiful, and I'll speak to you later.
Oh, you too. And as you do that, she sort of brushes her hand from your shoulder, sort of down your pec. You too. And she sort of turns around.
Get the fuck out of here, boys.
So as you're walking through the streets, and you sort of see a few back alleys, but you look up one street and you can see a blacksmith. Perfectly timed then, I think that was. You can see a blacksmith at the top of the hill, and it's sort of a bit almost fires going already, even though it's still quite early in the morning. Smoke pluming out the top of it. And as you walk past the end of the street, you sort of take a detour through one of the back alleys because you're trying to cut through lots of different houses now to worm your way through towards the spire where you know the general direction. And as you're coming through, who's leading the party, just so I get a general sense of order?
I'd imagine it'd be Withers, because Withers scouted out the place, so he'd be like,
Come on, it's this way.
Withers at the front. Any particular order behind, or just a random? Is anyone bringing up the rear?
Francis will bring up the rear.
Okay, Francis at the back. Dennis and
I'll be
Erdan behind
behind
Withers. Say again, sorry, Dennis?
I said I'll be behind Withers.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So we've got a general marching order. Okay.
Yep.
Yep, so you got Winid and sort of Francis towards the back. And then as you're meandering through the streets, Withers, if you just give me a general perception.
18.
Ooh, nice. So, as you're winding your way through the streets, and you've got different small little shops and things, and a couple of houses and what have you, you notice as the streets start to get quieter, you actually notice it's getting weirdly quiet as you're whirling your way towards the tavern, and you feel the ground shake ever so slightly, like a little bit of a wobble, a little tremor, and you can't tell if it's like a little, just an earthquakey tremor thing, or if it was a loose cobble or something like that. But as you're walking, you 5 of you keep walking, you notice some couple of strange roots coming from underneath some cobbles, and it almost looks semi-fresh, like they've kicked back the cobbles and the roots are coming up through. There's no tree around. It's just a root that's come up through. And as you're walking through, and you sort of veering through these general streets, or back alleys, shall we say, trying to get to the spire, you get sort of fairly close, I would say, to the temple. and you notice a few more of these chi roots, and cracked through some walls and piercing their way through the cobbled stones. And then all of a sudden, the sort of ground shudders a little bit, and beneath the cobbled streets, and the masonry starts groaning a little bit. These sort of roots that are snaking their way up through the cracks, and sort of lanterns on the side start flickering a little bit. As you're walking.
Shit.
Anyone know what's going on? So can we see any sort of... So the ground's shaking... So any sort of... Can we actively see the roots moving?
No. You thought you might have, but they look fairly fresh, like they've sprouted there within the last hour or two.
Okay.
There's freshly, all the cobbled and the cracks and stuff are fair. You can tell they're fairly new. It's sharp edged. The cobbles out of the floor that have come through. The stone is shifted to one side, and it's the fresh dirt underneath. It's not aged. There's no moss. There's no anything like that. But they're not actively moving yet.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I second that. So
then, with a bit of a thunderous eruption of stone and soil, this sort of as you're walking through, this big root comes up directly in front of you, and just bursts out the ground, comes straight out in front of you, takes you back a bit, and as you see it before you, it's sort of bark starts forming, and these roots are coming out all over the place, and it starts forming what you can see is a half a body, and then it sprouts almost one hand, comes out in a sharp, shocking kind of bark-like whip, and then it sort of wraps itself armed around one of the lampposts and pulls itself out, and there's nobody around, nobody can hear this, everybody's sort of left, and it's pulled over the lamppost as it's come out, and this sort of monstrosity of a root-shaped humanoid figure, is large humanoid figure. It's got kind of piercing yellowy kind of eyes, and it just lets out this shriek, and this almost root-like figure is now stood in front of you. Across the alleyway.
Withers is just gonna pull inside him, mutter to himself, and his hands just grows this massive ball of energy, and he's just gonna fire it.
So, go on.
I was gonna say, could Francis do any kind of check from his? This is clearly some kind of creature.
Clearly,
from his memory of various tomes of reading from his Monster Hunter days. Is there something I could do to see if I could recall and understand what this is?
You can give a history check, I guess.
History check, okay.
If you know what's because you're Blood Hunter, yeah.
Yeah, I get advantage on that, so bear with me. Not that it was very good. 7.
You don't really recall this creature, this monstrosity of a creature, too well. You know it's obviously from its appearance. You know it's not a friendly creature, but you don't know it. You wouldn't recall it from previous encounters. So yeah. You're now faced with this huge branch bark-like gnarled creature with amber sap glowing sort of eyes at the other side, and it lets out this sort of foresty cry, and it starts to walk towards you. So as we're gonna have to roll some initiatives for me, please.
Okay.
Have you got a VTT?
Yeah, I've got it. I'll just fire it.
Oh, dear Lord.
Right. Whoa. Lordy, lordy,
Oh, no.
lordy. Oh no. No, no,
No,
no.
no, no, no.
It's taking a
Right.
long time for people's rules to come through.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it's being a pain.
Must be a
again.
D&D Beyond thing.
It was working again just a minute ago, and it's not working now. It's gonna be fun.
Can you see them all on your screens if you shout them out?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, mine was 5.
5, okay.
Mine was 16.
It is.
I got an 8.
Oh god, okay, so hang on.
If you open up the log on
Yeah.
the actual VTT, there's something wrong with the D&D Beyond. It's not.
Yeah,
Game logs aren't working.
just shout them out. That's okay. Francis Withers got a 5. Hey, there's a lot in that bracket. Okay. Sorry, Dennis, what did you get?
Link.
Dennis, are you there? Nope. We've come back to Dennis, hopefully. Winid, what did you get?
16.
16, okay. 16 Winid. And Erdan?
2.
2. Oh dear. Erdan. Okay. Are you with us, Dennis? Young Link? I'm sure he shouted something out. He's still in the call. Sorry, 2 seconds.
It's still in the call.
Okay. I think he got, I don't know if I heard right, but I think it was like a 4 or something. Okay. So, Winid, you're up first. You see this huge creature in front of you. You are precisely 83-ish feet away from it. You're up.
Right.
Right.
Hmm. Okay. Time to get Gaia out, I guess. Okay, let's.
Plants don't like fire.
I was just thinking that. If you do use my flamethrower a lot, no. Now you see, plants don't like fire, but fire doesn't like distance. That's the problem. So I can make up Gaia, and he's going to be in his Force Ballista form.
Force Ballista, did you say?
Yep, Force Ballista. There's 3 variations to Gaia.
Nice. So explain, how does this look when you're, what are you concocting and when it happens, just for the rest of the, what do they see?
And I will pull out, I've sent the token already, but I'll basically pull out the parts, I'll put them together and then twist, and then sparks are going to go through my hands into the actual object, and then it's going to slowly form into basically what looks like a hand crossbow form of Gaia. So he's going to be in his small variation as well, because I can make him either a tiny or small kind of creature thing.
Yeah. So he's next to you.
The Eldritch Cannon is really weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Is that an action, I guess?
That was an action. So for the bonus action,
does he take the same turn as you? The same turn order as you?
Same turn order.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Yep.
Rolling to hit. 25.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that hits. Let me check my.
I'll be terrified
yes.
if it does.
Definitely hits.
If that doesn't hit, we are dead.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't actually know what his AC was. Let me just flick back.
Really
yes,
just
that
poker
definitely
face.
hits. Yeah.
Right. So he's going to take 2d8. So that's 13 force damage.
13 force damage. So as you fire your Gaia across the alleyway, it hits him straight in the chest, and he takes 13 force damage. Okay.
There's just this loud thundering boom as like the energy, like lightning, crackles through my hand through Gar, and then just fires straight out.
So, are you doing anything else? You've got movement.
I am going to stay exactly where I am.
So, as you fire this across the alleyway, hits him straight on the chest. He lets out a growl, looks down fairly slowly, looks up, and he's going to take almost a cumbersome walk towards you. So he's going to get right there. He's going to stomp across the alleyway towards you, and he is going to let out this scream of forest and bark and spit comes everywhere, and out of the side two walls appear some smaller, what appears to be smaller versions of himself, little rootlings that appear out the side.
Tattoos
and they sort of do this. Yeah, going wide. They sort of come out and they sort of let out this sort of baby squeal, if you like Rah! And yep.
Oh my god, it's multiplying! Okay, it's having babies. Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Yeah, over to Francis with Withers on deck.
Okay, unsheathing the sword, placing it on the hand, pulling it through the hand, the fire sparks. That's my bonus action to Crimson Right.
Nice.
So I will go ahead and roll a D4 of damage to myself. For 1 point of damage.
Ooh, nice.
1 point of damage on myself, which is, yep, that's cool. I'll take it. He will run his full 30 feet, which gets me to not being one to shy away from. Let me just read. What's that? What does that take? It takes me to about there. Okay. He's going to run his 30 feet straight towards El Beastie.
Yep.
And I was tempted to trial something. It's within 30 feet, so maybe I can do it. Mior, which is Francis's sword, as we discussed at the start of the thing, it has actually got an artificer's what's it called, Winid? Talk me through it.
It is a artificer's infusion. So if oh my god, I'm gonna have to go into a separate section.
Something Winid.
Would you just like to show them what it does?
Yeah. Winid, being my little technical monster hunting sidekick, has put this infusion onto his sword, which basically means he can just throw it.
Nice.
And basically it will materialize back in his hand, so it gives it a ranged. It makes it a ranged weapon that I can basically throw his sword.
Throw his sword. Yeah.
Comes back.
Almost like a Jedi's lightsaber.
I'm double checking the rules as well, just in case I've forgotten over this time. Don't worry, just give me a second.
Okay.
So it will throw. It will spin like that Jedi attack in Power Battles. And if everybody can remember that, then materialize back in his hand. So I'm going to throw the sword at the creature as I'm running towards it, and then bring it back into his hand.
Okay, so as you fling this sword across the alleyway, rolling to hit, I guess.
Okay, here we go. We have a 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay, and then rolling damage is 15 points of damage. But I get to add 15 points of damage, but I get to add some Crimson Right damage to that, I believe. Which is per second. An additional 1d4. Excuse me a second while I just
cough a lung up. Have your turn, and then you just cough a lung up after. I'll be saying.
Yeah, don't be selfish, mate. Don't be selfish.
Yeah, Jesus.
And then so an additional 4, so 19 points of damage total.
Nice. Okay. So as you throw this sword, it goes out, and it takes a big chunk, and you see this sort of bark almost explode out the side of his thigh. And
19 damage. Wow.
He takes a big chunk of damage out of his thigh. Bark sort of splinters out everywhere. And as the sword's coming back round, you sort of catch it in your other hand, and sort of chuck it to your stance, ready to go. Is that turn?
Yes, that is turn for me. Yes.
Okay, we will just do one Withers. We would take your go, and then we're back to the top of the round, I believe. Danis, are you with us? Link, are you back with us? I haven't got you in turn order at the moment. Okay. We'll play catch up in a minute. We will have your turn, Withers, and then we will just take a short break if that's okay with everyone.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Withers is going to. Where am I?
You're at the front, but Francis just darted past you.
Withers is going to dart on top of this cart.
Yeah.
He's going to stand there with his cloak flaying and his sort of it's unbuttoned, and you can see that his chest is sort of out, and it's like glowing scar marks down his chest. And he's just going to shout, "Begone, foul beast!" And he's going to cast he's going to create bonfire right in front of it.
Oh, nice.
So he's going to create bonfire. Right. How do you do a marker in this thing? There.
I think you could do.
There you go.
Can you
Done
do
it.
it? Yeah, I think you can do a fiery. There you go.
He's going to do it on the creature. So it's like
On the creature?
Yeah, on the creature. Yeah. So it's like a fire out in front of it.
Oh, hang on. Yep.
It has to roll a dexterity save of 10.
Dexterity save of 10 is what's his dex save? 5. Okay. Nice. Oh, just met it. 10.
Oh, nice. So he casts this 5 foot by 5 foot bonfire is just burning and where this tree is.
So even though he saves, oh, why does it keep disappearing? I'm going to put it in front of it, but it's actually on it, right?
Yeah, fine. Just do it
so
just hit him,
as
but
he,
it's just to one side.
Yeah. So as you cast this big bonfire, it lets out this screech and stumbles back a bit, and he's almost shielding sort of his eyes and stuff, but he does look like he's taken a little bit off of that fire, and he sort of stamps his foot once where it sort of his foot caught alight a bit. I'm gonna take some off there because take 5, 4. Oh, sugar. Pressing that.
It's 5 foot wide.
Oh my. Yeah. Perfect. Damage. Okay. So, he stamps his foot. Link, last chance. Are you back with us before we take a break and you can have your turn? Are you muted? Are you not muted? You're still in call. I will message him in the break. But if we take a short break there.
Oh, shit, that's me.
We'll take a short break there and we'll come back with the rest.
Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the fact that I've got action, bonus action.
Okay,
Oh, that looks a bit janky.
that's right.
I gotta
So
sort
we've
some
just got to sort some cameras out, so we will continue
Okay.
whilst young Jins sorts the cameras out, but that's not an
Okay.
issue.
Bloody
No problem. So, as you guys have seen this root horror come up in front of you, approach or emerge from the ground, and Winid is created this what is it, like a crossbow looking thing, isn't it? Where it's fired its first bolt at the horror. Francis is gone wielding. He's carved his palm up like he normally does, and he's gone running and thrown his sword straight at it. Withers has jumped up on the cart next to it and cast this huge 5-foot radius bonfire in front of it, which is startled and pushed back somewhat this horror. 2 more rootlings have emerged from each side, and with that, Erden and Danis have looked at each other, and with great horror of this verdant root appearing in front of them, turn-tailed and scarpered, and they bolted back to the thing. So as you look behind you, you just see Erden and Danis running off up the street in the distance, and left you three to it. I don't know if you want to refresh. I have hidden them on the thing. I don't know if you've got to refresh the table. Sorry. If not, I can move them off or take them out. So, yes, we have Rootling number 3, and he jumps out of the side of this, or out from the bottom corner of this house, and he starts scurrying almost like on with knuckles and Roots sort of 4 knuckles on the floor, and he's sort of using his feet and his hands to walk towards you, and he's going to move 30 feet directly towards Francis, which gets him just in front of there.
Okay.
And that's his turn. No, you're good.
But it was only Swift on the cameras. Oh, there we go.
We're back.
Hey! Technical issues!
Technical issues, we love it. So I don't know. Do you want to I moved the rootling. I don't know if you need to move it or it needs to refresh again. There we go.
There's a million things at once here.
Yeah, it's 17,000 windows open when you're trying to stream. It's fun. So, as he's sort of walking towards Francis, he's just seen the mother root horror take a sword to the thigh. Moves towards Winid. You're up, and then we have. Okay, yeah, Winid, you're up.
Okay. So I'm going to run up beside Francis.
Yep.
And I'll use my action to fire my crossbow.
Yep.
Okay, 14? Maybe?
Oh, maybe. I think
Got
it
a hit
does.
on it. It's big.
No, misses.
No! Ooh,
So as
okay.
it stumbled back from the fire, it's taken a step back with a bonfire that was stuck in it, and it sort of wails an arm, and you fire straight under its armpit and hit the crates behind. Shit.
Right, and then I'll lower my crossbow and then bring up Geyer with my other hand, and I'll fire him as a 20-foot. Oh, okay, that's okay.
That's
24 again.
This little Geyer is going for something.
Yeah. I fine-tuned this guy. He is on point today.
So you've as you picked him up, he definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Right. That's 18.
Fuck me. Okay.
18.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let me take 18.
Brutalise that root horror.
Okay, so it's taken as its fire had one crossbow bolt fired in, it's missed, and one bolt hits the other shoulder, and he thuds into this wooden like noise, almost like firing into a wooden door, and it's poof, and it's like got this big arrow sticking out of his shoulder. With that, he's gonna look down at his shoulder cumbersomely and look back up at you, and as you've taken that bolt, he's gonna go 15 feet sideways. He's gonna take a stumble round. Oh, sorry, yeah, go on.
Quick thing.
Yep.
Read this. He on a hit, he's also pushed 5 feet backwards. 5 feet away from the cannon, it says.
Yep. So he's going back 5 feet then. So he's going back just to the edge of those crates. So he sort of takes this one to the shoulder and he stumbles back and he knocks over a few of the storage crates that are there, and he puts his hand down and pushes back off of it. And he's going to take a wide berth around this fire. So he's going to move to about there and then move down to there. So that gets him. So as he walks, stumbles back round, knocks a few more crates over, and he gets to about there. that is. Can he do anything else? Spawn. No. Okay. Okay, so he's going to scream and sort of hold one hand and smash it down into the floor in front of him, and you can see like these root-like fingers embed and burrow into the floor, and they come out, and it's a 20-foot radius. Sorry, bear with me. I'm just going to do some measuring.
Does not sound good. TPK,
There's not. Where's the bloody...
GG guys, GG.
That's a great
Yeah.
20 foot, so that's kind of out there. Oh, how'd you... Yeah, so if both Winid and Francis can make a let me see what saving throw, a DC strength saving throw, DC of 13.
Okay. I got an 18.
Nice.
What was the? I got a 15.
13. So, no, you're both. Is that gone? Have I left that circle on there, Jins, or
Yep,
it should have gone?
Still there.
If you, I don't know why it's not refreshing. There you
It's 'cause
go.
I didn't know that.
So, as he buries these roots come up from underneath your feet, Francis and Winid, and Withers, you look down and just see all these roots trying to crumble up round your feet, and you take a step back and you sort of stamp on the roots, both of you, and they sort of like almost wail a little bit, and then sort of disperse back into underneath ground, and he picks his hand up and sort of slams it on the ground again. Okay.
Withers shouts down,
Get the high ground!
Rootling number 2 is going to move up behind the big boy, and that's his turn. Francis, you're up with Withers next.
Okay, can I take a free action just to say something to Winid who's next to me?
Yeah, I know, it's fine.
So is it turn into Winid, and he'll say, "You heard him," and he'll just gesture to like either the cart or the barrels, in response to what Withers has just shouted. But with that, he will then press in on the large one. He'll close the distance to lock himself into combat with that one and keep it in place. Hopefully, we'll see. And with that, I will take a swing with Muir. Or 18 to hit.
18 hits.
So slash 14 damage plus an additional D4.
Please.
So 15 damage total.
15, you're slamming it. So as you point to Winid and point up at some crates and carts and then charge in, and you take this almighty slash down, and it's almost down on his other thigh as he's sort of walking towards, and yeah, you take a big chunk out of him and he wails a little bit.
Okay.
Yep. Turn?
That is turn, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I've still got
With
bonus.
his... Oh, no, go on. Yeah, I was going to say, you got your bonus.
I don't think I can actually do anything with my bonus action. I don't think I've got any bonus. I've got hybrid. When you... No, I'm all good. I'm all good.
Yeah? Okay, Withers, you're up.
DM, can I move over to this car? It's 20 foot. I got 30 foot of movement. Can I use my entire movement to get over onto this one?
Yeah, so the crate you're on is not that high. You can traverse it fairly easily, and then use the remaining 10 feet to clamber up on the cart.
Okay, Withers is going to stand there, and he's sort of winding his hands together like that, and you notice that his eyes have just gone bright red, and his sort of, you can almost see like flames coming out of his mouth, and he just unleash, and he just fires a chromatic orb with fire damage at the huge beast.
The huge behemoth.
The huge beast. Fire. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
That was a level 2 chromatic orb. That's 3d8. No, it's level 1, sorry. Level 1 chromatic orb. 3d8. So that is 16 points of damage. Fire damage.
Shit, dead. Fire damage. Okay. So, as you fire this orb, you shout and you fire this orb across, and it just straight across. And as it gets closer, it just explodes on impact onto his right shoulder, and it bursts into flames. And he's, in fact, now on fire, and he's taken this huge hit from the side and takes an almighty wail. Let me just take that off of there. What was it? Sorry, 15?
16.
16, sorry. Yeah, 16. So, oh shit, took the wrong number. There you go. Okay. Okay, that's a big hit for the boy. He's takes a stumble and he's looking at his shoulder now, and it's gone up on a blaze. Is that your turn?
It's my turn.
Okay, Erden's turned tail and ran with Danis. So, Rootling number 3. We've seen that orb of fire just come straight over. He's going to turn around, scurry, and crawl back up onto the side of the cart and take a swing. Let me just see. I've been using these guys. So he is going to swing, and he lets out one of these sort of tendrils of roots, and he swipes down straight at you for... Oh shit, 7? I guess that doesn't hit. So as he slams down, you dodge to the side, and it just takes out the side of the cart, and this wood goes shattering off to the side. Winid, you're up.
In response to Francis with his earlier comment, and that as he starts to run forward, you're just going to hear behind you, Francis go, "Do you realize how difficult that is?" Just kind of like as he just kind of like throws his arms down and gestures at his height. And with that, and also seeing obviously Old Man Withers in trouble, he's going to fire.
Hey, he was in trouble.
Geyer. He is going to fire Geyer across at that.
So Guy is still with you, yeah? You're firing it from your hip.
I've got him in my right. I've got him in my right. I've got him in my right hand. I've got a crossbow in my left.
Hip firing Guy, yeah. Go on. At Rootling 3, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So that's the bonus. 19.
Oh, 19 hits.
That's 14, and then 5 feet away.
14.
So as this bolt comes in, I'm trying to pick it up off your screen, Nerdz. As you fucking hell, damage 14. Okay, as you fire this Gaia across, it takes a crossbow bolt to the side of the kidney almost, and it bolts it back, and it hits him against the other side of the cart. He sort of looks across, and he's got a big crossbow bolt stick. These are quite small little things, so he's got this big crossbow bolt sticking out of his side now, and he lets out a wail, hell of a wail. He's shrieking for Withers, almost ear-piercing.
And I found the Gar, so that's like an energy blast, it's some sort of blast, magical blast. There you go. So
it's a magical crossbow bolt, is what it is right now.
It's magic.
Magic with the gift.
And for my action, I'm gonna help out Francis here. I'm gonna use my racial action. I'm gonna use Draconic Cry.
Oh,
so you let out a cry at enemies within 10 feet of you until the start of your next turn. You and your allies have advantage on attack rolls against the enemies that could hear you.
Oh, okay. So how loud is the cry, and how far does it go? Sorry.
10 feet.
10 feet.
It doesn't say how loud it is. Just Draconic Cry. So you're just gonna hear This is going to be very surprising to you. You're going to hear almost like a dragon's roar out of this tiny kobold.
Now, this roar is
kobold roaring like a dragon.
It's from the guts. It was quite a rumbly roar as well from this smaller creature. But it's Francis. You sort of like surprised and taken a bit aback. But you have advantage on enemies that can hear it. So I guess that's these two in front of you as well.
10 feet. That is from me.
Mm-hmm.
It's the big guy only.
Ah, okay. Sorry, I haven't measured it.
Yeah.
Okay, so big guy, get advantage on attack rolls. Is that
Actually,
for duration or is that a timed?
It's till the start of my next turn.
Okay. So you have your next go on advantage. Okay. So with that, the sort of the big root horror is looking down at you now. So he's as you look back at Winid shouting his cry, Francis, you turn back round, and as you turn back round, there's a huge bark-like claw coming down straight at you. So he's going to take a big swing of a slam attack. That's 16. Oh, okay, so that's a 14 to hit. I don't know if you mute. You muted. I'm guessing it hits, maybe?
Sorry,
or don't...
sorry no. I was coughing, so I muted myself.
Coughing, you got some again.
Yeah, no, it does not hit.
Okay, so as you turn back round, you turn just in time to see a huge sort of bark claw coming down, and you sort of take one, and it one step to the side, and it takes off a load of stone and cobble just to the side of you, and then as it's coming down with its left hand and taking a dirty 17.
That one will hit.
So it's coming down, and as it hits, you take 2d. So 1. You take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Whew.
Okay. And then the second one is going to clamber up over the sacks and barrels towards Winid and get in combat range with Winid and take a swipe, which is going to do it for what we plus in on here. I should know this by now. Where is it? 4 plus 1. Oh, 9. I guess a 9 doesn't hit.
It doesn't hit.
No. So as you've seen this rootling sort of crawl up on all fours, up and over, and as it's jumped off the thing, it's taken a bit of a swipe, and you sort of take a little stance back, and it hits the ground next to you. Francis, you're up next, and then Withers, you're on deck.
Okay. Well, I am going to do a blood maledict curse on it to start off with. Something I should have done last turn. So I will do Curse of the Marked on it, which means I'll just put my token in there to say that I've done that once per short rest. So I target a creature. If I attack it with a weapon which has a Crimson Rite on it, which I do have in my hand, I can do an additional Hemocraft die, so 2d4 instead of 1. So so we're going to pile on a bit. We're piling on a bit more damage.
Throwing the damage on.
Yeah, so let's roll
advantage.
N's not going to hit it though, is it?
No, you got an advantage with Winid's cry. Yeah. His draconic roar
that might come in handy.
From the belly. I think 14 misses as well. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. I'm spending all my time dodging that attack coming in. You're off balance.
And you take a bit of a swipe from having 2 tendril lashes come down at you. You take a big swipe, but bounce. It sort of ricochets off his knee. Yeah.
Hold the line.
Turn. Okay. Withers, you're up.
Withers is going to look at this beast that's just flew across the cart, and it's just like they're in close quarters, and he's just going to sort of put his right foot back, his front, like a lunge, and again he's going to generate this ball of energy, and he's just going to Hadouken this guy with a sorceress burst, and he's going to use fire damage.
Oh fuck!
10 to hit.
Oh, I don't think that hits. Let me check. Nope.
Oh,
That's very close. But as he's hit the side of this cart and you take a step back and Hadouken, your foot just suddenly slips because this cart's a little bit off balance. It ain't got the brakes or the chocks in on the wheels, and it takes a little bit of an off, and you just fire it straight up, 45 degrees up in the air, and it goes up towards the spire of the temple and out into
am
the
I
distance.
in melee combat with this creature? My melee.
You're in 5 feet. Yes,
Okay,
you're in 5
then
feet.
I am going to, with my bonus action, cast Flame Blade. So after the rocking of this car, and he misses and just like takes like 10 tars off the roof behind, he just sort of goes down to his hand and just blows and gets one of the sumac leaves in his hand and just blows on it, and this flame blade just goes and this
Brilliant.
it efforates out of his mouth, so like it's fire comes up, and he's just stood there waiting.
Nice. Like you're starting a little fire in the
Yeah, don't worry, that was a roll just to see if I cast it. I don't know why.
coming up. Yeah.
I don't know why I did that.
Oh, I like it. The dice rolls are working. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Okay, nice. No, I guess not moving. You're staying in combat range with this guy. Yeah.
Ready to fight now.
Okay. So we're back to the top of the round. With Rootling number 3, that's just taken a huge bolt to the side and a couple of misses, and he's going to move just a little bit closer, and he's going to take another tendril lash, which is plus 4, 11, 15.
Hits.
Hits. So you take 1d6 plus 2. You take 8 slashing damage.
Fantastic.
And can you roll me a strength saving throw, please?
Hang on, let me just take my 8 off.
Oh, it's music. Cool.
Very good.
Strength, you say?
Strength saving.
12.
Oh, so, yep, you're fine. It was
Just.
DC 11. Otherwise, you'd be grappled. But no, you're fine. You've saved yourself. So
Okay.
we are down to Winid. He was in combat with Rootling 2. With a big bastard in front of you.
And perfect. Okay. Well, bonus action. Guy.
At Rootling 2?
Yep.
Is it it's not a ranged attack, so you don't get disadvantage in 5 feet?
Ranged
Or is it
attack?
It's like a bow, isn't it? Normally a bow.
I would.
is close.
It doesn't say anything like that, but I would say that since I'm holding it, and it is obviously 120 feet range, I would probably say it's a range attack. So I'll roll again.
Because I think I'm not a ranger or bowman or any.
I'll roll with disadvantage since he's literally up in my personal space.
He's up in your
And
grill.
that doesn't.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
change.
Doesn't matter. You hit anyway. Point blank range to the chest. This little Rootling's going to take some damage.
So that's 12 damage, and then thrown 5 feet away.
So 12 damage. Shit. Okay, so as you fire this bolt, he just hits back and hits this these sacks that are behind you, and he just pummels into the sack and takes a bit of a shriek. You are technically free to move without opportunity now, I guess.
It's amazing. I'm free. I'm gonna. I'm then going to turn and fire my hand crossbow at that Rootling 3.
Yep.
Is bothering
Ooh,
Withers.
appreciate it.
Ooh. No, 11 misses. So the cart rocks again. You take aim, and the cart takes a little judder with Withers casting his big flame blade, and the cart rocks, and you just hit the roof behind it. Yeah. Okay. Turn. Movement. Good.
Movement. I will move. Gonna use my movement, and I'm gonna just move on over here.
Shimmy on over there.
The bonfire's,
You're just gonna see me a little skitter, just skitter on over.
the bonfire's gone now.
Fuck. Oh,
Ah, yeah,
fuck,
okay.
leaving me here with these two.
I'm going in between you guys. I'm dual wielding right now.
So as you fire your bolt and follow your crossbow bolt towards the rootling, Francis sort of looks back up at this big verdant root horror in front of him and sees another big claw attack coming down. That's better.
Right.
So 22.
Oh yes, that'll hit.
Okay, so you take 1 to the face, which is 4, 2, 6, 8. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage.
Jeez Louise. Okay.
And then he's coming in with the second one. That's not going to hit. That's a 9.
Okay.
So
Yeah. No, that's
takes
better.
one big sweep down across you and shocks you and takes your bludgeoning across your chest. And he takes one and misses with the other one.
Okay.
And that's his turn. Then we're over to Root the Tootling 2. So we're being bolted into the back of the sacks by a huge Gaia bolt, if you like, we'll call it. He's going to pull himself, dust himself off, and he's going to no, he will just run straight past Francis. I think that gives you opportunity, doesn't it?
Oh, that's can I have an opportunity attack?
Yeah, he's not going to. He's not caring for Francis fighting there. He's not even going to pay any attention and run straight past.
Okay.
He's
Let's
out for
go
blood.
for. So that's 19 to
19
hit.
hits. Yep.
So that's a 8 plus. So 12 points of damage on him as he runs past.
Nice.
So as he runs past, how does it look?
Oh, so he's just as he's flurrying the blade around trying to land attacks on him. He sees him going past after winning. He sees him like look that way, and he just spins it around like a Witcher style when he spins the sword around, and just cleaves it like into it as he comes back round to try and.
Not even
So
looking.
they're quite small. So as you spin, as you're 360 and you spin round, and your blade catches and basically decapitates this rootling, and his head falls on the floor, and the body sort of just becomes limp. And I think I just put a red dead thing there. So that one's dead. Pile of roots on the floor.
Hey.
And then,
Shouts after
Rootling
winning.
two.
Welcome.
and with that, it's your go. So you spin round after decapitating this rootling,
Yep,
and then you have withers on deck.
I'm gonna just keep hacking into trying to find some
Yep.
soft spots on the big boy.
Purchase on this big guy.
So we'll go for an attack on him. 20. Oh, it's a natural 20.
Ooh, that's 20.
Damn.
Sheesh,
Natural.
Keisha.
You got
a
plus
beast.
seven.
You gotta roll good damage on this. Go on.
Yeah. So we'll go for 16 points of damage,
Yep.
and because I've got the blood maledicts plus 2 d4,
Plus 2 d4. Shit, the bed. Okay.
so that's
Nice.
24 points of damage on the big boy.
24 points of damage. Oh
Times
my
two.
Jesus Christ.
Damage.
The times 2?
No, that,
So natural.
no.
No, the base camp. The base. Yeah, no, the
Ah,
base camp. Oh, yeah, that's the 16. So yeah, 24
Dude,
points of damage on him.
Oh shit. That's the wrong
Yeah,
one.
the
D4 and you've got the
artificer's
max.
thing. The artificer's thing on that particular sword actually gives it a +1. So that helps a little bit.
Yeah.
And
So
he
as
gets
you
2
as you
single duelist as well. So
so you've got your one sword in your hand, haven't you? So you've got two hands on a big hill. So as you come round after decapitating this guy, you take a big upward swing right up into its sort of abdomen, if you like, his big sort of torso, and it just wails. You hear this absolute wail, and he takes one sort of step, a little jolt back, and he puts one hand on the crates and things next to him. He's taken a few big hits now, this guy.
Cool.
So Withers, you're up.
Withers is looking at this little fucking mutant thing in front of him. And he's just gonna swing with his flame blade. Just bring that puppy down. And I'm gonna swing. Oh, 10 again.
Oh shit. So
Just swings
Don't
and
rock the boat,
swipes.
don't rock the boat, baby.
As you take a big swipe down, it carves itself into the cart, but the little rootling's pretty nippy.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
take the way.
fine. Just seeing what else I got.
Damn it!
Damn it!
Damn it!
Damn dices! I
Um,
believe he's still alive, this guy.
Unbelievable, Jeff. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Word on myself.
Nice.
So he just leans back and just puts his hand on his sort of glowing scar and just says, Flame Mother, heal me. And he is going to get 5 points of healing.
Nice. So Winid, as you're sprinting towards Withers, you just see him take a big swipe and then just put his hand on this big scar on his chest and take this little shudder. Yep. So that was Withers. We're up to Rooting 3. So as you do that, he's going to take a little cheeky tendril swipe with his claws. That's a 7 plus 4 does not hit. I guess 11.
Not hit.
No.
A bunch of
Okay.
flipping noobs up on this cart.
Okay, so he's
It's
not
not stable
gonna
car.
do-
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
understandable.
I just imagine like Jack Sparrow when they're on like a cart and they're fighting like. Ting, 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 ting. And there's just this cart.
Francis and I are just like watching the. It's like the scene where they're watching like the water wheel going past, and there's just the right
yeah.
Just Francis and I just watching this.
So Winid, you're up. As you're running towards.
Yep. I'm just gonna fire. I am going to dual fire. So crossbow. That's not gonna hit. I think I will be very, very annoyed if. Wow. Okay.
12 misses.
Oh. Yeah. Both miss.
So as you
We're
sort of
nerfing
point out,
shots.
sort of double wielding, you sort of take a little
It's
sip
just
on
so
it,
good. It's
loose
like it's just rocking. It's just rocking. Too much.
And you miss
Out of
with
that,
both.
the body of that last rootland just slides into the back of my heel.
a load of bark and sort of finger roots hit you in the back of the head. Are you got movement?
I
want to
do. I'm not actually sure. On the one hand, Francis. On the one hand, whether it's dying. I'm gonna make a decision here. Oh, I'm gonna run up.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Keep running up.
Hey,
So
buddy!
as you run up,
Hey, how
jump on
you
the-
doing?
Yeah, look so good, so I decided to come help. He's like struggling to climb up. He's like out of breath.
so as you do that, this big root horror in front of Francis is going to take a couple of swipes again.
Bring it on.
8 plus 5, no, 8 plus 6 is 14.
Nope, doesn't hit.
No, so he comes down with a big swipe, and as he comes down with the other swipe, he just slams the floor again, and lets out a wail, and appearing from
God
out
damn it.
of the back,
Oh
this
god.
one more rootling comes crawling out from behind, and he sort of appears and just screams back at his mother, if you like,
Aw.
and appears.
Hey, it's a new baby!
And then just
Congratulations!
he's popping out little babies. That baby boy, a baby root, baby root. Okay, that's his turn. Rootling 2 is dead. Rootling, Francis, you're up with Withers next.
Oh, here we go. Come on, let's have a carve another big chunk out of this boy. Swinging to hit. 25 to hit.
Fuck yes.
Rolling for main damage. 15 damage. With an additional 6. So
21
what's
damage.
that? 21 damage on him. Yeah, 21.
Shit, that's bad. So, as you take another big swing with your sword, and it takes another step, you actually take one of the forearms as it's coming down. You sort of swipe up as it's coming down to hit you, and you take one of the forearms off at the elbow.
Nice.
And this branch-like arm flies off into the sack of spuds or whatever is there. Nice. Is that your turn?
That's my turn. Yeah, I'm just going to keep hacking away till it.
Okay. Rootling 1. No, that's you. Sorry, Withers.
Withers, with his burning sword in his hand, looks over towards this verdant horror that just keeps creating these saplings, and just like, not having this, and he just, with a single hand, holding a blade in the other one, he just generates this orb against his body, and then just throws it, and he's going to throw a chromatic orb at it, at the big one, level 1, for a 16 to hit.
I think that hits. Yes, hits.
And it's fire damage, and that is 8 points of fire damage.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Take that off.
And
So,
it turns back
this-
round to the little one, and it's just like, you're next.
Starts shitting himself, little branches. So as you've thrown this chromatic orb, it explodes again on his side, on his hip, and he screams and lets out this huge wail, and staggers a couple of feet. Oh no, I can't grab it on there. Staggers a couple of feet back into the sacks. Okay. Ruling 3 is gonna take another swipe at Withers.
Bring it.
Come on, my little baby. What is he's plus? 4, 2. Oh, nat 20, 24.
Definitely hits.
Definitely hits. That's 2. It's just double the D in it.
Yeah.
2d6s. Shit, 2d6s. That's a 5. A 1 plus 2, so that's 3. That's 8. 8 slashing damage. And if you make a strength saving throw, 11 DC.
$13.
Oh, so he comes down again. You sort of glances off you, but you take the strike. These branches. It's, I think it was slashing damage. Yeah. Okay. That's Rootling 3, and then Winnage, you're up.
Right. So, right. So firstly, for my action. Oh, that's right. Okay. So you're gonna see, obviously, when it clamber up onto the cart with you, you're gonna throw the chromatic orb, and scare the shit out of the other one. I'm then going to drop my crossbow with my left hand, and I'm going to place my hand onto the rootling, and I'm going to cast Shocking Grasp.
Oh shit. Okay. Is it a saving throw?
No, it's just on touch.
Just a straight hit. Yeah.
Yep. So 24. What is it with the 24s today on me?
Definitely hits.
Okay. So it's 1d8 lightning, and it's 1.
No.
1 damage.
1d8 lightning, and I got 1 less. Sorry.
Do you? I won't say. Okay. So you grab it, and you grab it on the side of the shoulder, and you send this shock wave through this little sapling thing, and it takes this shock, but looking a bit ropey, but still undeterred. So we are down to Root Horror. So it's going to, after receiving another rootling from the cavalry from behind, is going to take 2 massive swipes at young Francis, which is 6, 17, 23.
Will definitely hit, yeah.
Okay, and then we're going 7 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. Yeah.
Gonna come in with a second swing. Oh, that's not very good. 11.
Doesn't hit.
No. So he takes two big swipes. One you manage to dodge. The second one obviously takes a big bludgeoning to the side. And then this one is going to charge down, seeing its mother being attacked quite badly. It's going to get in range, and it's going to take a little mini swipe.
All right.
Love him.
That's not very good either. 9.
That won't hit. No.
Nope. Okay, so you see this other little rootling come in from the side and take a little side swipe, but completely shaft it. Okay, so Francis, you're up now, and then Withers.
Jesus. Now I've just checked my inventory. I have a healing potion in there,
Yes.
which I'm tempted to use. Is it a bonus action to use that healing potion?
I
What's your-
think it is, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I will let you be. Bonus.
So I'm going to. Whereabouts is that healing potion? Where did I put it? There it is. So it's just a standard potion of healing. It drinks the magical fluid in this vial. Gets 2d4 plus 2 hit points. Drinking or administer the potion. Oh, it takes an action. No, it takes an action.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I mean, I used some homebrew rules in mine, but we'll stick with what's in here. So I'm going to leave it for the moment. I'm just going to keep going toe to toe with the bad boy. So I'm going to swing again at the big one. And let's see how we get on. Nat 20.
Oh, okay. This could be another large portion of damage coming through.
We've got a 21
Jesus.
plus 4, so 25 damage total.
Awesome.
Okay.
On the
So,
bit.
as you swing this another great gigantic swing, you come up through and you take the other arm off at the shoulder, and then as it crouches, it sort of wails and it brings itself down almost to your level, and then you just bring a big one down straight onto its back and stive straight through it, and this thing has perished.
Yes.
Eventually falling to the floor and sprawling out, missing a couple of arms, and it just collapses almost into just branch-like pile on the floor, and then its eyes fade, and a bit of a shriek. Nice doing it.
Okay.
Withers. Oh, sorry. Is that your action? Is that your turn?
Yeah. I'll just turn attention to the little one.
Okay, nice. Okay, Withers, you're up.
Withers gonna swing. He's gonna swing at this bloody. This
Little
just met-
bastard is.
I came out
Hang it
here.
in.
I made this flame sword. Now, if I don't do it, I gotta at least get one hit. Not very happy about it. Come all
Go
the way,
on.
I dress up nice.
A 14.
Ooh, hits. 13's the AC. 14 hits.
Right. Flame sword.
I'll give you a clue. You've got to do more than 1 damage. So how do you want to do it? You absolutely maim this thing.
He brings the sword down on top, and you remember like in Gears of War where they like chainsaw him, like. So he just brings it,
Style.
clunks it on top of this little thing's head, and I presume they're sort of made of wood, and he just burns his way through, and he's like,
Yeah.
and it just cuts this thing in half.
So as it hits, this thing just combusts, and yeah, you could smell this burning like wood, and it sort of goes in half and folds to both sides, and it is down. Poor little ruling. Okay. Anything else? You have movement now.
Oh, sorry, no, I am. I tell you what, I will do. I will healing word myself.
Nice.
I'll give you some freaking spells. 5 again. Come on.
5. Nice. Okay.
And end turn.
End turn. That was used back up to rooting. 3 is just gone. Winid, you're up.
Quick thing. Last turn you skipped over my bonus.
Oh, did I? Your bonus action?
Yeah.
You don't.
I used the shocking grasp, but I still have my bonus.
Oh, sorry.
It's all good. It's said and done, so it's all good.
Apologies.
I'll use my action to pick up my crossbow again, since I said I've dropped it. And well, tried and true. Bonus action, just fire a guy over at the last rootling.
Yep.
Oh, 21.
21 hits. Yep.
17.
Oh, fuck me sideways. This thing does some serious damage.
It does. With what I've got a 2d8 plus 5.
Jesus fuck. Okay. This thing takes another big force sort of bolt to the side. Does it get pushed again? It does, doesn't it?
Yep, 5 feet. But then it would be going into the corpse, wouldn't it? Just kind
that's fine. Just hits the pile of sticks and branches and stuff that were left behind from this thing. And Francis, you just see this rootling this bolt come hurling in, and this rootling takes a huge blast to the side. Okay. Anything else before I skip your turn again and absolutely forget anything that or any movement? Sorry, should shout at me. Shout at me next time.
You can skip my movement, damn it! You can skip.
Sorry. Okay. Rootling 1. With that, he's going to take a swipe at Francis.
Bring it on.
Nope, that is not going to hit. That's a 9.
Love it.
Nope.
That's not
Okay.
Tank.
The absolute tank. That's its turn. It's only doing that. So Francis, you are up with Withers. If it manages to survive anything.
Right, that's it. I'm gonna bugger this thing into the earth now.
Oh dear God!
It's got its back up against the wall, and you are the fucking wall.
So third nat.
I cast soap.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
19.
19.
19 hits. Yeah. How do you want to do it? You don't. It's they had 18. They had 18 health, and flipping Winnie took like 17 of it.
So as it gets hit by that massive blast coming across from Winnie, as the force pushes it in and it smacks its back into the corpse of the mummy, and it kind of comes off a little bit. He's just going to follow it with a sword and just like bring it into the head.
Nice.
So the rest of the body just falls below, but he's just holding the head on the top of the sword, and then he'll just yank the blade out and just let the head roll onto the ground.
Nice.
Just put the sword onto a piece of cloth and just, because the flames will go out, and he'll just literally just wipe it, clean of all the sap and the ichor, and just
Lush. So you hear this last wail of this guy, and then it all sort of becomes fairly quiet. You sort of look around. There's the holes left in the earth where these things emerged. You see 4 piles, 3 smaller and 1 very large pile of branches on the floor.
Hey, where the fuck did those two go? You know, the big lizard and the little kid. Like, where'd they go?
I don't know where they went. I was. Oh god, breath. Easy. This climbing up that car actually surprisingly took a lot out of him.
With that, Withers just puts the flame blade out, and just there's a barrel of water nearby, and he said,
Francis just wiping down either side of his sword to get all that. Like, is it what do they have any kind of ichor or
it'll be just tree sap, general tree sappy kind of amber looking sap. Yeah,
just wiping
That's
the
really
blade
gonna
down,
bugger your sword.
Turn into Winnie. I'll say, have we ever fought those before? I don't recall them.
Shall I roll for history?
Yeah, it's just, I'll just say I can't recall fighting anything like that before.
Right, I shall roll for history. No advantages, obviously, because I'm not a blood hunter.
Have any of them there?
Don't you can roll for history. These I don't think generally, unless try it, Winnie, and Withers if you want to try.
16.
16.
Again, no, I don't think you would have encountered these in your previous realm. You would have encountered, shall we say, things that were alive that probably shouldn't have been across Jalas as a realm. But yes, not necessarily tree root kind of horrors, if you like. But they were, almost brought to life, if you like. But you would have encountered similar monstrous type creatures that were also brought to life, not necessarily in a tree root form.
So DM, being somewhat studious, then I'll look for something on the big one or one of the little ones that could be chopped off that I could keep in a pouch to eventually take back to my order and say, by the way, this is another type of creature that does X, Y, and Z. So I'd look for something like that. So
just I mean, not very high DC, but if you just roll me an investigation, just to see what you can sift through.
Okay, I actually get a 22.
Oh, yeah. So as you sift through the pile of bark and it's still somewhat laid in this big humanoid sort of form, but it's kind of loose branches now, so you can sort of hack one off with ease, and you can gain a branch, and as you pick it up you can sort of almost feel it pulse a little bit, not with life as it's going to come back to life, but you can tell it once was alive. It's almost like picking up
he just chopped its finger off.
Could I chop up a second one to throw to Withers as well, so he's got something of it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So Withers, I'll chop off a second and just turn around and just haul it up to you on the cart, and say, "If you want one as well."
He just looks at it, bites on it.
I think if I dry this pretty good, I'd probably be able to smoke it. You know, I could. It's some good stuff. I reckon I could get a good bit of harvest off this.
Finger of what? What am I calling this thing?
Finger of root horror. Yeah.
Finger of root horror.
You have given him tree bacon.
Withers wants to search any of the creatures for any sort of mystical runes or something that empowered these, any sign of arcane sort of influence over them. Or are they a beast?
Yeah.
Are they a beast, or are they made by magic? That's what I'm trying to ascertain.
Yeah, so if you roll me an Arcana check, I think. An Arcana.
10.
It's not terrible for what it is. I mean, as you sort of siphon through what's left of the branches and things, again, you get this lifeblood almost that is this amber sap that's come from them. You don't see anything magical per se. Again, it looks like this would have been a tree from underground once upon a time. They look like normal branches that you would see and roots that you would see in a normal tree that have got this weird amber sap that's come from them. You would probably still gather that these were got their lifeblood, shall we say, from something more powerful. That's about all you can gather.
Hey, Winnet, you still got that maple syrup?
Yeah. I mean, we had it last night, but I think I've got the jar. Maybe. Wait, you're seriously not thinking?
Throw it over here.
Yep. I'm not going to question this. He's just gonna reach into his bag, and take out the somewhat empty maple syrup jar, and just gonna hand it up to you.
And Withers just. There's still a little bit left in it. That's good stuff.
And then he's just gonna get along one of the halves of the sapling, and just pull it down like that into the jar.
Like you're squeegeeing out a flannel, straining it out. Yeah. So as you do, you sort of with a fairly good amount of amber, glowing sort of amber sap coming from it. And you manage to get a good half a little jar full of this amber glowing sap.
Can I smell it? Is there any sort of like, is there like if I stick my tongue in it a little bit, like,
so you get this sort of earthy kind of taste and almost slightly acidic kind of earth. Yeah, it's kind of very, it gives you a little wince. But it smells warm is probably, I know it seems a bit of a weird way to describe it.
Ichor.
Rootling sap.
Ichor of rootling.
Ichor of rootling. So yeah, you as you smell it, you get this almost what's the word? It's like vinaigrette, vinegar kind of hitting you in, real empowering kind of, but it's real earthy, vinegary.
Clean your bathroom.
Yeah,
like,
like you go straight up your nostril and goes down the back of your throat kind of smell. So you get that whiff from it. As you all are sifting through the remains of what's left, you look up and you notice you're actually not too far from the front of the temple. It's only maybe a couple of streets away, but there's still no sign of Erdan and Danis.
Turning to the others, do you think perhaps we ascertain where those two got to before we press forward?
I bet they pissed their pants and ran off. You know, it happens all the time. These young warriors, they think they know that scoring, and as soon as they get in the battle, they're gone, you know?
Well, I don't know what we're going to have up ahead if it's any more like this. I think we might need...
Wow, so say it's a temple of healing. Like, should we just poke our head around the corner and have a look?
I mean, a temple of healing with these things around, that... I have so many questions.
Yeah, where...
Like why were these things here in the middle of a town, and why now? And why attack us?
Can I inspect the hole that it came out of?
Yes, yeah. So there's a couple of holes. There's obviously three where the little ones come out of, and then there's one at the back that's slightly bigger. So if you just roll an investigation as you walk up to it.
Why can I not find?
And it's just gonna shout out to him, just like, don't fall in it.
14.
So as you approach this rather large hole, it's somewhat collapsed in on itself. So it's not a tunnel, but you see all these branches or roots that were almost converging in on this hole. And you notice the direction is kind of pointing in the temple's direction. So these rootlings would have, or these roots that were gathered in this particular place that created this big root horror, almost look like they were flowing from the direction of the temple.
Wither's gonna put his hand over the hole, close his eyes, and you're gonna see the mud and soil start to come away from the edges of all the roots, like disappear 5 foot around them, and it's just going to expose all the roots, almost like you were doing like a water excavation around something that was like ancient, so that you can sort of inspect the roots.
Yeah.
And he basically cast Mold Earth, and he's going to sort of put his hand down and grab one of these roots and just sort of try and twist it and just see if anything happens. See if it's like, he's trying to ascertain if it's got feeling. Is it sentient, or is it just a root?
So as you do that, you grab the root and it sort of sends a pulse up through your arm, like a movement pulse. It's not going to shock you or poison you or anything. Yeah, take 17 points of damage. No, as you grab it, it sort of tries to retract a little bit, like a worm kind of alive, but it's the same roots that you've just been attacking, but this kind of retracts and you try to grab it. Just give me a strength check, just quickly, just to see if you can hold on to
strength
it. It's got to be
that,
pretty high.
17.
Oh, 17. So you managed to hold on to it for a bit, and as
Old
you're
man
holding
grip.
on to it, old man grip, vice-like, you sort of get this pulse, and all of a sudden, after holding on to it for a few seconds, it sort of, like I said, worm-like kind of retracts back into the earth towards the temple. And as you look at your hand, you've got sort of the mossy and barkiness of what was surrounding the root, bit of mud or whatever, but you just see traces of this same amber sac, just very slight traces of. But the root kind of disappears off into the dirt.
Gives it a good sniff.
Yeah, it's
Same vinegar.
same stuff.
Same sap.
Just
Same sap. Don't look good,
Same
guys. Looks
sap, different hole.
Looks like it's coming from that church, that temple.
Should we follow the? Should we go into the hole and actually go straight to the source of what this could be after we find
It's only 5
the
feet
other
deep.
two? Oh,
So after the 5 foot that moulded the earth, the rest of
Oh,
it
it's
is all
good,
collapsed in on itself. Yeah, it
okay,
spent
sorry.
a week or so digging, which Durgrim tried to do.
So,
So you have a
I think we should go and scout out this church, even if we just spy from down the way.
and
I tell you what I do.
I'm gonna cast spider climb on myself.
nice. Okay.
Like a Swiss Army knife, old Withers is.
He's been all sorts of tricks up his.
And he just looks at the guys and he goes, "I'll be right back." And he just gets out the spider out of his pouch that he fed the fly to earlier.
And he's just like, hey, hey, and he just,
And he just almost like little tendrils come on the end of his fingers, and he just. And it's like a scene out of The Ring, and this old man is just going up the side of this building, and he
so I was thinking.
and he gets to the rooftop, and he's just having a good look around.
So roll me a general perception as you're doing the climbing. I guess with spider climb, there's no it's the spell is climb anything with ease. There's no.
Until the spell ends, one willing creature can touch. It gains the ability to move up and down and across vertical surfaces and ceilings while leaving its hands free. The target also
nice.
gains climb speed equal to its normal speed.
Okay, so fine. You basically ascend to the side of one of these houses, which, funnily enough, are empty. And you get to the roof. And did you do? Was that
did not.
straight? Do me a perception. As you guys
30-20.
see from the bottom, this old man scale with absolute ease. Like he's, it's natural for him to scale walls, which somewhat surprises you. You get to the top, and as expected, you're maybe two alleyways away from this temple. And what you see, I think you may have the image there. So what you see as you climb up and over, you see this temple of verdant light, and it's quite big, towering temple situated in and amongst the houses. With a dirty 20, you in fact see two figures stood outside the front of this temple. Quite a distance. They wouldn't notice you on 2 streets away on top of this, but you see two tall elven figures, and they're clad in this big hang on, bear with. They're clad in some armor, and where's it gone? And green armor. With sort of chromy, kind of silvery shoulder pads, long white straight hair, very elven-like. 2 big staffs there, and what you notice on top of the staffs is 2 green emerald sort of gems glowing in the top of the staff, and they're stood there almost like they're on guard of the door, essentially. And that's all you see with personnel outside the church. The church is very tall, like I said, probably 50 feet high for the tower, for the spire, and then it drops down to sort of almost normal height, back end of the church. The spire's at the front. And you see the footprint with a 20. You see kind of the footprint's quite a large footprint of the church in its area taken up. There's probably 40 foot, 50 foot wide, and 60 foot deep, as in depth of from door to back end. Yeah.
Can I see any comings or goings? Is there anyone of recognition down there? Not coming or going out the temple from the front door. No. There's two elven guards, clad in this emerald armor. Anything suspicious?
Emerald green. No. So as you creep down, you take in the sight, and you turn around and you start to sort of easily climb back down. And then with the 20, from the alley whence you came, you entered, you see the two mystery hooded figures approach into the alleyway. And they look up at you, and one you notice is human, female, one is a male. They look up at you. They look down the alley at the other two. They look at each other. They look back at you and smile. And that's where we'll end it for tonight.
Nice.
So, interesting. You've got some things to sort of try and work out what's going on with these routes. You've got two mystery people that have just appeared. They're not trying to hide, so they're in plain view, and they've seen you. You've seen them. We have to figure out where Danis and Erdan disappeared after shitting themselves with a big root horror.
We handled it. We handled
saps. Yeah. I think
I had to use a few
Link
healing
has
words.
the key. Yeah, so we'll leave it there. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. Thanks for playing, and I hope you enjoyed it. So, like I said, we've got Lantern Song on Saturday the 14th.
Yep.
Got the Hunger on the 17th, and Tombs of Annihilation on the 16th. So a few games coming up.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Bardic Tools. You
Yeah,
can check them out.
So
So
good
I don't know-
tonight. Just using it, getting it going. Like I said, if you are interested, I'll put it up at the end of the stream, but we have our new sponsor, Bardic Tools, who basically create, I've got a software that is a immersive soundboard that you can use what you're listening to now. I've been changing it the entire time. I've been adding stuff as I go. When Danis was doing his performance, I went and found a cheering for a crowd, and I stuck a
Worked
cheering
really well.
in
It's
and
timed
just
perfectly.
put it on, and it's just a phenomenal piece of a kit. And we've got some discount codes, so if you're interested in subscribing, yearly you get 20% off, and if it's monthly, you get the first 2 months free. So I'll put it up at the end of the stream. And yeah, no, it's been a great game.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll pick it up on session 4, and we'll see what the temple brings and who these mystery people are. So, okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, and good evening. And as Jins quite rightly says, may the rolls be forever in your favour.
Woo
Hey.
dice are cast, legends forged in echoes past, steal and spell the fates entwine.